but they don't really change the way that you play.
They add a speed bonus, but they also add a bleed effect. So you're dealing a little bit of extra damage if something gets close to you, which would make sense because you were generally keeping things at a bit of a range as a musket. Now you get a little bit of a damage bonus up close via those bleed perks that are on there. And then we ended up adding a few more perks because who doesn't like some new perks as long as they're good, which we really feel like these ones are very good. I'm very interested in decking out my entire Fire Staff set. All of the armor will have plus fire damage on it now to give me a nice little bonus to my damage. So we're excited about that.
That's
kind
cool.
of adding a little bit more
like
dynamic perks to the armor sets that help you offensively, not just defensively, and not just kind of like the weapon perks. So there's a little bit more of a combination, a little bit more of a range of things that may appeal to you as a player when you see items start dropping coming soon.
Awesome. And one of my favorite new perks coming, Magnify. Tell me a little bit about how this works.
Yeah, so one of the things is maybe you have a really good weapon that just has 30 con on it or something, and you want to use it in certain sets, but you can't because it ends up throwing off your attributes a little bit. Well, Magnify helps solve that problem. It just magnifies whatever your highest attribute is. So if your entire strength set is a strength set, now it's going to add 30 strength as opposed to adding 30 con previously. But if you swap over to a tanking set and you still want to use that item, now it gives you 30 con because that's what you're spec'd into the most. We feel
so that's interesting. So it makes it so where it's easier to swap weapons and use them for different builds. Great.
Like this will let you feel like the items that you worked really hard to get are even more valuable because you can use them across more builds, and also allows you to kind of experiment with other builds a little bit easier. And hopefully that opens up a lot of new possibilities.
Awesome. Well, let's dive into probably one of my favorite features coming in the expansion. Tell me about artifacts, Patrick.
Yeah, artifacts are awesome. They are gear score 700 playstyle build-defining objects you can acquire in the world. So we have a whole set of artifacts coming with the expansion, and you can find these on named enemies in the open world, out of dungeons, the PvP reward track. All sorts of content will be vectors for these artifacts to drop. When you get an artifact, it's a unique one-off item, so it has a unique perk on it that will not exist on any other item in the game.
Okay, so it's
one example, my personal favorite, is called Scorpion Sting. It is a spear that has Javelin as a perk, but that Javelin doesn't push the enemy away. It pulls them to you. It's going to be super useful for me in Outpost Rush. When you get Scorpion Sting, you're going to go and you're going to see that it has a bunch of perks on it that are locked behind a quest. So when you equip the spear, you're going to see your HUD change to show the objectives that you need to complete to unlock those perks.
Get over here.
As you complete those objectives, it might say go kill Thorpe in the depths, for example. You're going to kill Thorpe, and then immediately that perk is going to unlock, and you're going to have that.
I swear to God, if the artifact greatsword is not like some fucking crazy ass like whirlwind or something just absolutely fucking nuts, I'm gonna lose my mind. Bro, it'd better be fucking insane.
Artifact be slightly more powerful. Eventually, you'll have unlocked every perk on the artifact, and it's going to be a really, really powerful item that you're going to want to make sure you have equipped. So you can have 3 of them equipped at a time, 1 weapon, 1 armor piece, and 1 jewelry piece. And hopefully they should really change the way you're playing the game.
Awesome. What about you? You got any favorite artifacts?
There's a lot of really fun artifacts, really exciting.
Greatsword's going to be faster herb gathering.
You're going to want to make sure you have equipped. So you can have 3 of them equipped at a time, 1 weapon, 1 armor piece, and 1 jewelry piece. And hopefully
Oh man.
To roll them out to everybody. One of the ones that I think is very defining for tanks is there's one called the Wall that you're probably going to want to pick up.
Okay,
it's a
what's
tower
this?
shield. It dramatically increases your ability to block. It has like an enhanced sturdy blocking. It has 25% less damage from elemental attacks. Obviously super huge. But all things that are good need a little bit of a trade-off. You're not going to be able to dodge with this thing. It's just too powerful.
Fuck yes! Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I hated having to dodge, and now I have an excuse not to.
It has 25% less damage.
Bro, this is awesome.
Obviously super huge. Powerful to be able to move and dodge at the
Bro, these guys watched the fucking that Hen Orlando video.
same time. So it'll be something that it will change your playstyle as a player.
I love this.
But it should lean into kind of your class fantasy or way you want to play the game in a lot of different
Not
ways.
even fat rolling,
Awesome. My favorite probably is the Abyss. It's a great axe that actually scales off int rather than strength, so it allows you to try new builds.
So it'll be something that
That's actually really cool.
style as a player,
I love
but it
this.
should lean into
Wow.
kind of your class fantasy
Like, imagine that with, like, the Void Gauntlet or something. Like, that's... What the fuck?
And all the damage is void damage. So it's pretty cool. All right, let's...
We need a faith-based greatsword called the Moonlight Greatsword, and it can shoot, like, giant, like, blue or, like, turquoise, like, slashes, like, really, really far. Need to add those. It'd be really cool. Maybe, like, 2 of them.
Let's jump into crafting, Patrick. What are some of the changes coming with crafting?
Yeah, so as we mentioned a little bit earlier, crafters right now have this paradigm that we don't love where you're rolling on a pretty wide range of gear scores, so it makes getting the item you want to craft pretty hard to do. So the first big change you're making is gear score is now a fixed value when you craft. You know exactly the gear score you're going to output. So when you have all of your buffs equipped, all of your food taken, town buff is up, you know that you're going to craft an item.
I think actually this is actually really good, I think, because this will make crafting gear, won't this make crafting gear more valuable? Because you can't RNG without crafting gear, so you need crafting gear? Yeah, it would, right? I think that's good.
Add a specific gear score, and then you can still roll on those perks depending on the what attribute mod you throw in there, what perk mod you throw in there, etc. But we're also giving players a way to guarantee a gear score 700 with a new item called the Azoth Inductor. The Azoth Inductor will give you a bonus to gear score, guarantee you that top end gear score after a very powerful item.
Wow.
Oh wait, there's more. We're also adding an item called the Prismatic Scarab. This will let you on a set cadence craft an item that is exactly the item you want. So you can specify the attribute type, every single perk on the item, and output basically the item of your dreams. And it should allow players to create best in slot items a lot more cheaply than they can in the current game.
Wow. That's a lot.
And another change is now you can use
I
both.
wonder what's going to happen, though, because, like, how often can you do that? Can you sell the items
Bills
that you
is
can do it
paid.
with? Can
Family is fed.
my viewers all
ain't got
use
nothing
their
to complain about.
prismatics like once a month?
I got
That-
class
like,
tonight.
can you guys log on and make me this
Keeping
gear?
an
I'll
A
give you
plus
the
in both
stuff.
my classes.
All right, yeah, I want this one.
That's what I
yeah,
do.
let me get a number 5
Edumacation.
with trenchant recovery, critical strike damage, and
Edumatation.
extra fries.
Edumacation.
It'd be perfect, you know? It's buying on pickup. Oh, fuck.
You can use both at the same time, right, to guarantee the gear score.
Correct.
Come
You can couple
on.
that Prismatic Scarab with the Azoth Inductor to craft that perfect gear score 700 item.
It's awesome. Hey, well, thanks for joining me today to sort of give an overview of the big changes coming in the expansion. I hope you all enjoyed the segment. Please like and subscribe if you did. We have a community question. We'd love your feedback on the upcoming changes. What changes are you most excited about? And is there any change that you perhaps didn't hear us mention that you had
well.
wished?
My dog is
Let
in
us
the
know,
window.
and we'll see you in
What
a
is he
tournament.
doing?
That
Q.
you had wished.
All right.
Let us
What's
know.
up,
Is there
man?
any change that you perhaps...
Come here.
Pause.
What's
pause.
up, Q?
Okay. What changes are you most
Come
excited
here.
about? I really like the idea of
on.
artifact weapons. I think that's really cool. The added value placed on crafting armor is also really cool. I
Dog.
like that a
What's
lot.
up? Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
big,
I mean,
too.
mounts. Yeah, mounts are cool. Now, expertise removal. Yes. Here's what I wish was happening. I think New World needs more social
Mr.
features.
Q, Mr. Q.
I think they need to do 2 more patches
You just
that are
finished eating.
similar
Back up.
to the
Back up. I
what do
ain't
you
got
call
nothing
it?
here for you.
I forgot what the patches that they introduced music in. Like, we need to
I
have
need a new
something like
controller.
player
That's
housing
what I
and
need.
garrisons that are more than what we have now.
Alright,
There
what am I
needs to be
doing?
something for players to do in towns and to interact with each other in towns. And I think that one of the problems with that, like guild housing and like group housing and stuff like that. Like, there's
Yeah.
no reason to go
I'm starting to
into
get
a
tanky.
tavern, for example.
I
You
lied.
can't even sit in the chairs in the tavern. You want to have
still
different
need to get
places where players that
past
play the game can actually feel like they're part of a living, breathing world.
it's
That's why,
not
for
that bad.
example, everybody probably had their spot that
Yeah,
they
it's
would
not that
stand
bad.
in Ironforge or in Stormwind or in Dalaran whenever they were playing World of Warcraft.
all
And
you
I think that,
guys,
you know, like fucking
I'm
in
cool
Final
on
Fantasy,
that.
it's the same thing, or any of these other games. And those types of experiences, I think, are
strange.
what makes MMOs transcendent from being a game to being a, a part of your life in like in a healthy way, you could say, right? Because people like logging on, they have their friends in the game, and they have fun things that they do with their friends in the game. So I think that what New World needs to do is they need to add in more different ways for players to interact with each other. And one of the biggest barriers to that is the fact that the players aren't there. And so let's go back over, and I'd like to look at the New World server status here. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people playing comparatively, right? Oh, we got another embed. And, another one of these. 6,000 people. Obviously not super great. The game hasn't been doing well, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The point that I'm making is that even with a server that has 2,000 people on it, the game still feels kind of dead. And I think that this is a really good question. How good would the game feel if you added all of these US servers together? You just put all of them on top of each other, and you said this is a big, massive server, and everybody is here. That's what they need to do. Because I think the biggest problem that WoW has, or not WoW has, that New World has, is that, well, WoW had this problem, then they had to cross realm zones. It would feel amazing. Like, I think a good example of this is like, so if you go back, and I'll show you this, Asmongold, New World, and I think that one of the coolest things is seeing everybody else, right? It's seeing all these other players. And that's why the Fresh server was so popular. That's why so many people enjoyed it. And like, also, do you guys remember, like, whenever you go into the main city and you'd see all the camps outside the city? Yeah, look at that. Dude, you remember that? That was so cool. Oh, that was so fucking badass, man. Do you remember all these? These are all people setting up their camps and everything like that. And it was so, so special. And like, that experience is, I think, what makes, because like New World is like clearly set in like a colonial era North America. Colonial era, like 1600s, 1500s, maybe 1700s. Like that's basically what New World is, right? And I think that part of that is being there with the age of exploration. And the age of exploration feels a lot fucking better whenever you're doing it with other people. Like there's like no reason to be in like these places here. Like this is really cool place, but there's no reason for somebody to be inside of the tavern. Now, how do you fix that? I'll show you how to fix it. The way you fix it is you have the bards that have to play songs inside of the tavern, and if you play a song inside of the tavern, you have to tip double, but you also get double the buff. That's how you get people to go into the taverns. So there's a lot of easy ways to solve this kind of stuff, and I think New World has to figure out ways to do that. Let's see here. And maybe that's not a great idea, but what I'm saying is that at least they need to start thinking about what would be, right? By the way, this guy was a dev of New World. He was a dev.
Can't wait to get rid of these damn zombies.
Whenever he actually didn't know if the voice chat system was going to work, and he was genuinely asking me if it was going to work. I have to remove competitive music area before doing that. Yeah, they'll probably have to have some sort of a fix or like some sort of like stage or something like that, right? And so let's see, I'll go back to a little bit more of the gameplay.
It's really not what I need.
And just like seeing other players. I think that's really what the important thing is, right? Is like it's about seeing other players and interacting with them. That's what really matters the most. And so you want to have experiences where you're out on an adventure exploring a new land and you see other people that are on the same adventure and you team up with them, you work with them, and you do things together. That is what is I believe, fundamental of what the MMO experience is supposed to be, right? Especially, remember, like, I got everybody together for, like, killing this bear? Oh, dude, this was so fucking good, right? Like, this is the kind of experience that I think everybody missed. Like, if the entire game had this type of vibe, I feel like it would be amazing. It was so fucking fun, man. That's what makes MMOs so good. Yeah, seeing other people. So they need to create different avenues for you to see other people and for you to interact with other people. That's really, like, that's what I think is holding them back the most, right? And then to do that, we need more people. Them having like the voice chat and everything, the proximity voice chat is amazing. I'm calling for backup.
I might have to see what that New World is about.
Yeah, this was
Go for
so
body
fucking
shots,
good.
boys. We got him. 50%. 50%. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Do you remember
Keep
how
it up.
fucking fun this was?
There it is. There it is.
Who was here?
Come on, you can do this, boys. Go in there for the reses. Go in there for the reses. Any heroes? Any heroes? Let's go. Shit! Keep it up. We can't let him. We can't let him beat us. Fight till you're dead. I'm going in. Yeah. Can't beat me. Fuck you, bear. Oh shit. Going again. There it is.
Don't even know
I need
who
a
that
heal.
is.
Oh my. I need a res. Res me quick.
Have no idea
Got
who
it.
calling me.
Oh. I need a res. Guys, I need a res. Somebody res me quick. Fight him again. I need a res. Res me again.
I need to change my phone number.
Res me, guys.
Random numbers be calling. Stop
This shit was
calling
so
me. I'm
fucking
not
fun,
picking
man.
up.
It was so fucking fun. And like, that's the kind of experience that you want to have. And I really hope that's what New World, look at this, sources in order to defeat this beast. And also to regroup and get more people. Look at them all. But for now, we're going to go in there.
This
and
is
we're
the
gonna do our
experience
best.
people want to have.
You guys are going to let me pull
This
the boss.
right here. This
And
is a
everybody-
social multiplayer experience. And you can't fucking have that experience whenever the total online players on a server is 239. And that's the fucking truth. How many of you guys logged back onto New World after a long time and you were going to try the game out again, but your server was dead, so you didn't play? How pathetic. There it is. Like I said about streamer culture, well, it's not about streaming or anything like that. I mean, it's like streamer culture or anything like that. Like, it's just as simple as people like playing a video game with other people. It's not crazy, right? You won't be able to farm mats. That's okay. It's better that materials are very hard to come by than players are very hard to come by. Like, for example, Black Lotus was hard as fuck
Can I
to
even
get
use it
in Classic WoW, but the game was great. There was a whole meta built around Black Lotus.
Yeah, I figured as much.
He is going to go full out big dick on this boss at ranged. Do not let him.
I remember
kill you.
dude, this
If
was in
he's
like,
standing
what
up,
year is
you
this?
do not attack him.
2020?
Do not fucking attack him if he is standing up, okay?
We
You
had
understand that?
like 80,000
Do not
people
fucking
watching
attack
this.
him. Stay back.
This was
and
nuts.
we will beat him.
Die on top of him. Die on top of him.
We actually did kill him, by the way.
Defeat this beast. Go. Take him out. Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
And somebody else skinned him. I didn't get a chance.
There it
to.
is, boys. There it is.
Yep. There it is. 30 dudes versus a grizzly bear, exactly. And that's the kind of experience that people wanted to have, right? And the only thing I'm trying to get at here is that, like, this is what New World needs to have. So they want to ask, what do you wish was happening? More players on a server. Straight up, it's that simple. More players on the server. What do you think about the price? I think see a lot of bitching in chat. If people are crying about a free game that has a $30 expansion, they're being delusional and unreasonable. They're not asking for $70 for the whole game. Like, if you have the base game, or sorry, not a free game, or sorry, a free to, what I mean by free is that you don't pay monthly for it. Like, there's no subscription cost, and there's no, like, real hard pay to win in New World. Like, you can play, like, you can get, like, maybe a little bit extra shards or something like that,
but there's no like hard pay to win in the same way there is with like Lost Ark or like Honkai Star Rail. So like it's a buy to play. Yeah, what I mean by free is that like you're playing it for free. I think actually free is the wrong word to use. It's a buy to play game. If it's a buy to play game, I think having paid expansions is completely reasonable. And it's like if they're gonna make all this content, they're gonna have to make their money off of it somehow, right? Like, what are we talking about? That the people have to get paid at the company, so they make content. Like, I don't know, guys. I thought this was great. You know, like whenever Armored Core came out, I bought the game and then I played the new content. Like, imagine that. That's such a crazy idea, right? But I think that it works. You think changing when the game is charging when the game is dead is a good idea? I think that a lot of people probably. How many of you guys are in this camp? You probably played New World a little bit and you wish you liked it more, and you wish there was more to do. I think there are a lot of people that were disappointed that New World wasn't better, because like a lot of people like the game. They like being in the environment. They like being in the world. They just didn't like the end game activities, and they just didn't finish playing it because it was super repetitive, right? For like whatever reason. And I think that the game had a lot of problems. I don't want to go through all of them, but we all know that. So I don't think that it's unreasonable. Like I don't think it's unreasonable at all to ask people to pay. Oh yeah, you have to pay $30 for a massive update like this. It's a whole new zone, a level cap increase. It's like a WoW expansion basically. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Gathering super relaxing. Yeah, exactly. Mid-game is whenever it started to fall off. No cap. Yeah, especially on release because it wasn't really fleshed out at all. It's improved a lot since then, and it's great. That's great that it's improved. It still has a ways to go, but it has improved a substantial amount. Let's see here. And plus, when there are changes, you can get a feel without buying the new expansion first. Yep, there you go. Forcing people to buy expansion or you have no shot to remain competitive online? Absolutely, because that's the way MMOs work. That's the way World of Warcraft works. That's the way that Final Fantasy works. That's the way, I don't know how Guild Wars works actually, I'm not really sure. But all of the other games that you're talking about, these are all games that you're paying, like Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft, you're paying for this game monthly. Like, you understand, like if you're paying two months of World of Warcraft, you just paid for this expansion. Like what? It's like you had to buy. It's effectively you have to buy this expansion every other month, whenever you play WoW, and you have to buy the expansions on top of that. Destiny 2, yeah, Destiny 2. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, guys, I think there's a time and a place to be unhappy about having to spend money on a video game. I just don't think this is one of them. I really don't. It's not a pay-to-win game. It's a buy-to-play game. It's been continuously updated. And they're making an expansion. And they're saying, hey, pay us $30. This is not a $70 expansion. It's not even a $60 expansion. It's not even $50. It's $30. If you are playing the game all the time to where you're worried about not being competitive because you can't afford a $30 expansion, you need to rethink your life on why $30 is that much money for you. And I'm sorry if that's a bit of a reality check, but it's the fucking truth.
Talk your shit.
Come on, $30.
You said get your money
I'm
up.
not talking about a $100 game.
Get
Pepega,
your
I want
money
people
up,
to come to
fam.
work and develop new content purely out of the goodness of their hearts. Yeah, I
Get
don't
your
know why
paper
people are
up,
like that either.
motherfucker.
I think they're being unreasonable. Your chatters are off the perks, man. It's because people don't like the game, so they're reverse engineering logic to find out a
Get your
reason for why
goddamn
it's
money
bad.
together.
If you don't want to buy the game,
Ooh.
it's crazy.
I like the
I don't get it. Like I don't get like where people come from. It's because New World didn't launch with adequate amount of content, DLC. Okay, so New World didn't launch with an adequate amount of content, but New World fixed that problem without causing you to spend any extra money. It is a buy-to-play game that was not finished on release, but you did not have to spend any money. If you bought the game on release and you come back a year later, you do not have to spend any fucking money. Or do you pay them to fix their issues? Because that's the way literally every other MMO works. That's the way World of Warcraft works. That's the way Final Fantasy works. Every single MMO has some form of continuous payment that you either have to do or you do this and it provides you a tangible benefit. Why are people arguing this? Because people are being unreasonable. That's why they're just being unreasonable and stupid.
Alright. What else you got?
The abandoned VTuber that made it? What's this? Virtual ghost.
One of Suisei's favorite catchphrases, "It's your shooting star, your diamond in the rough," idol VTuber Hoshimachi Suisei. I want you to focus on the diamond in the rough part because truly I tell you, it was through years of internal and gruesome pressure that the talent Suisei was able to create some diamonds. Let's take it back to her pre-debut year, her first livestream on March 2018. In her humble beginnings, Suisei set out to become a successful VTuber. She wanted to become a VTuber so bad.
It's just so weird for me to see VTuber avatars that don't have massive titties. I feel like I'm looking at a normal person. It's awful.
But was strapped on cash that she ended up drawing her own V2 model and even rigging it. She shared in later interviews that she watched countless YouTube tutorial videos on how to become a VTuber. And from this, she learned live 2D on her own. So this unknown VTuber gave it her all for 1 year straight, uploading every week, coming up with video ideas, and editing everything by herself. But things were going nowhere, and she was barely able to cross 6,000 subs even after giving it her all. She even worked multiple odd jobs to stay financially afloat.
他のね企業の VTuber さんの動画を作らせ
I used to make pocket money by editing for VTubers and agents.
てもろて、それでちょっとお小遣い稼ぎをしたりだとか。
Her? Yeah, bro, quotes her. Yeah, this is also, guys, this is her in real life, okay? Just in case anybody didn't know this. Alright, this is her in real life. Everybody knows it. This is every VTuber in real life. I mean, guys, I hate to break the illusion, break the fourth wall, but yeah, this is your average kawaii VTuber. Sorry, guys, it's just the truth.
でバイトしてお小遣い稼ぎをしたりだとか、まあいろいろありましたね。
After 1 year of this, Suisei realized that she was nearing burnout, so she wanted to get into a good VTuber agency. She was tired of making everything by herself and needed help.
自分でメイクもやって、動画も自分でやって、企画も自分で立ててみたいな、そういう時代がありました。
That's really fucking impressive that she did all that. At the time, she had 1,200 subs in 2 months. Her first stream had a maximum viewers of 140. I feel like 140 viewers on your first stream is pretty fucking good. But it depends on like what you did before then, you know?
ですけど、
Yeah,
まあね、
that's
1
nuts.
年くらいやって結構なんていうの、いい数字が出なかったというか。
So this ambitious indie VTuber started to apply to all the major VTuber agencies in Japan. However, she got rejected by every single one of them.
星町水星のままとして入るのはちょっと難しいかなっていう感じだったんだよね。
Damn, so they didn't want her.
一新して別の芸名じゃないととか、まあそういう。
Everyone said I had to restart as a whole new character name. It made me really, yeah, what the fuck?
ばっかで。
Why?
Call it stubbornness or foolishness, Suisei really believed she could make it in this industry as Hoshimachi Suisei. A complete rebrand will be moving away from this identity. Mustering all her courage, she reached out to a company called HoloLive who already rejected her once.
頼むよもう一回ちょっと話し合いしてみませんかつってもう一回だけなんか条件面とか かで気になること
Just once more, I'm willing to compromise as much as I can if there are any
が
concerns.
あるんだったら私全然なんか妥協とか全然するんでもう一回ちょっとお話ししませんかねみた
Can
い
we
な
talk one more time?
So it happened around at the very same time she reached out. The company that owned Hololive, Cover Corp, was creating a music label called Inonaka Music. They said, you can join our label, but you must join our music branch. Without any hesitation whatsoever, Suise is like, yes,
She
I will
does it.
join. And she recalls being very, very happy on that day. Fast forward to her first live
Wow,
show,
good
part
for
of
her.
Inonaka Music. The newly signed VTuber shared she was extremely nervous during her first performance. She wasn't even part of the promos because of her last minute addition, and people who were at this performance was there only for her gen mate Azuki. But one thing that made her emotional and kept her pushing forward was whenever she would appear and started to sing, people started to change their pen lights from Azuki red to Suise blue.
What? Oh shit. That's so cute. Wow.
It was a defining moment for her. Straight
That's
up
so
around the
nice.
same time, she was very close to quitting after dropping the song Thank You. But after this experience, she knew she wanted to become a popular VTuber. Now this is where things kind of took a sad turn for her. During her 5 months as part of Inonaka Music, Suise was legit casted aside. Number 1, there was no music support for her for 5 months. Not even voice or dancing lessons. Number 2, her new 2D model was delayed for half a year. Number 3, she was completely ignored by the top management of Inonaka Music.
Damn, that
And number 4,
sucks.
due to company policies, other VTubers couldn't even ask her for a collab. And
Look, hey, yo, like, it's a different culture. What they fucking do is not what I do. It don't make a lot of sense. What the fuck? I don't know.
most importantly of all of her music projects were getting delayed, and she eventually had to pay for things out of her own pocket
That
to get
sucks.
things moving. It was honestly a horrible situation.
What the fuck is going on with my phone?
You explain why VTubers exist? One of the
Oh
reasons
my
why
lord.
VTubers are, what do you call it? One of the reasons why they're popular is that people find it easier to communicate to somebody and like be close to somebody who's not like a real person. Do you ever go like for a long time without eating anything that's like super sweet or like any sort of like really like rich dessert or anything like that? You go like really long time and then like you eat it again for the first time in like a year or like 5 years and it kind of makes you sick, right? Okay, yeah. Well, so there, imagine that's guys with girls in real life. So like, because now it's an anime girl, it doesn't happen as much. You see where I'm going? Do you see where I'm at? Yeah, it's like you don't, like you're interacting with a girl, but it's not like a real girl, so you can feel more comfortable. I think also just people think they're cute. Like that's another big reason, obviously. Apples to oranges, I think? No, apples to oranges you hope,
もうずっと期待させてた
and
か
you're
ら
wrong.
もうできないのが本当申し訳ない、はあ、これからもね頑張っていくんで応援しててください。
But without no complaints whatsoever, Suise pushed onward and just kept streaming and streaming.
Damn.
And from this hard work, her maximum viewers started to climb little by little. From March 2019 at 110 viewers to 2,200 in December 2019.
That's really good. 2,200? That's nuts.
But despite these efforts, Inonaka
Oh my
won't
God,
pour
this
any
girl
resources into
supposed
her.
to be a-
There are many fan speculations of why this was,
knows?
but the most reasonable one was that the genesis of this music label was originally set up to support Azuki Oni, so they couldn't spare any additional support for Suise. Again, Suise was losing all hope until A-chan, a prominent Hololive staff member, stepped in to save her.
結構モチベがきついもう結構モチベがきついなみたいな
Starting to lose
話を
motivation.
して やめ
I was thinking maybe I should quit.
やめようかなとか思うんだけどどう思うみたいな感じで、まあ、相談して、まあ、A ちゃんがすごいいろいろと
I'm trying to arrange various
計
things
らっ
for
てく
me.
れて
A-chan is honestly the real MVP because
Hey yo, that's the girl from the gotcha thing in Hollow Cure. Is this like the real one?
it was this very swift action by her that eventually saved Suisei's VTuber career.
Damn.
So in December 2019, Hoshimachi Suisei transfers from Inonaka Music to Holo Live. With a newfound drive, she started to hone on how to stand out as a VTuber talent and be unique.
Oh,
What
wow.
are some things that only Hoshimachi Suisei can do? You started to see this internalization influence how she moves. She went out of her way to collab with other Hololive members, and one thing she played into was this psychopathic personality. This birthed the name Psychopath Suisei or Suisopath. This also
good.
led her to randomly picking up Mario
Oh, she got, bro. I always liked Waluigi the best, man. I thought he was so fucking funny.
Kart and grinding
Whenever
her
they finally added him into the game in like Mario Tennis or some shit, I was like, finally, they made a character for me.
way to be the best out of it, out of all the Hololive talents. And most famously, her skills in Tetris was pretty god tier. It seems from getting rejected for so long for being a jack of all trades, this very personality is what led her to cement her place within Hololive. But at the end of the day, it was Suisei's phenomenal singing skills that really separated her from the rest.
That's
Things for
crazy.
her really turned for the better in March 2020. She was finally able to debut her 3D outfit, she showcased her third original song, she announced her new radio show, and in all of that, celebrated her 2-year anniversary.
Oh
In
my
December
God.
2019, she would be getting maximum 2.2k viewers, but during this 3D concert in March 2020,
Damn.
56,000 people tuned in. End of November
That's
2019,
insane.
she was at 50k subs. And 4 days after her 3D debut, she hit 150k subs.
Good for her.
What if she quit back in November 2019, 4 months before? This all would have never became a reality. Hololive's popularity then skyrockets with the formation of its EN branch in September 2020.
Wow.
Just in October 2020, Gra Gura surpasses 1 million subs. The first Hololive member to do so, and the third VTuber in totality to do so after Kitsuna Ai and Kaguya Luna. Suisei takes the Hololive momentum and runs with it. By June 2021, Suisei
Damn.
passes 1 million subs.
That's
Nearly
insane.
2 years after joining Inonaka Music at 6,000 subs. In a very wholesome moment, her father calls her right before she crosses this huge milestone.
で俺はな1から0から始めるやつのことしか尊敬しないんだ。だからお前はまあいろんなちょっと切り抜きとか配信とかを見て知ったけど、お前はまあ一人でゼロから始めたらしいなって。だからお前は
Damn.
俺はすごいと
So I
思う。
think you're
Nothing
amazing. Wow.
is as rewarding as having your conservative Asian father telling you from his heart that he's proud of you. But I'm sure in that very moment, Suisei felt a deep level of peace and accomplishment. Several months after, taking all these emotions, she publishes Still Stellar, a hood classic that was a Japan Billboard 100 instant hit.
That's nuts. That's what the fuck? Wow. I don't know if this is good or not. Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good to me.
I need to make that custom hit.
Of course, after the
I
Suisei
thought
shooting
just some other, like some random fucking dude playing a guitar.
star was in full bloom from March 2020 to now, there were still many bumps in the road, multiple hiatuses. She had a major surgery in 2022. However, like her resistance in the beginning of her VTuber career, she's always able to push through and innovate. From her editing her own music videos, to project managing the best of the best Japanese producers and songwriters to help her create her latest music
That's
projects.
incredible,
From
man.
her first music performance debut
God
in
damn.
2019 to her selling out whole arenas by herself. From her getting rejected by all the major VTuber agencies in Japan
Wow.
to being an absolute VTuber pioneer by being the first one to perform on First Take. From virtual ghost to virtual superstar.
That's nuts. What
this
the
is
fuck?
the Hoshimachi Suisei story.
That's insane. Yeah, it's such a positive video, man. It's always good to see somebody that
Alright.
Yesterday was crazy. Now everybody going back to sleep while your boy Brute out here still keep y'all up to date on everything because the devs been going crazy and dropping a lot of nuggets. And there are going to be a lot of changes from what people was actually showing y'all in the gameplay. So anyway, sit back, relax. You already see your boy, man. You already see your boy with the background improving every video. So grab yourself a brew and let's get to the video.
You want 2K rumors and news, you in the right place. Want a community that's cool, you in the right space. You want tips, subscribe now and ring the bell. Then go to the park and give them hell. The Boot Squad is an organization with all winners. Soldiers up in formation, we all killers. And when you step on the court, yo, you're our dinner. When I play D in the fourth, yo, Kawhi.
So you don't know. Your boy Brutal, sim on the scene, wicked and mean with a next video for y'all, man. So y'all know what it is by now. Take some time out, bless up your boy, like up the video, definitely help the channel out, because you know your boy gonna always put y'all up on game and keep y'all up to date on everything in the 2K community. You know we gotta start the video off the right way by giving a huge shout out to the Brew Squad. Anyone y'all got their notification bell unlocked, come to the comment section and type first, second, third, know the gang of Brew Squad. I gotta put y'all up there just to show y'all some love, y'all. Much love, much respect. So y'all thought Tank Top Brute was going somewhere? Y'all better chill out, man. Y'all know I can't do without my tank tops. I just had to take a few days to adjust to the AC, man. Y'all gotta get more pass. But anyways, we got a nice video for y'all out here, man. We gonna start off getting straight into. We gonna start off with this tweet from Mike Wayne. After all the clips was released, he came out and said this. He said, one note on shot, layup, dunk meter, green windows. He said they constantly fluctuate over the course of the shot based on the defensive evaluation. So it might look like you're stopping the bar in the green window, but the window shrinks a frame later and you miss. Just a heads up, don't at me. I can't believe Mike Wayne is giving y'all some spice, man. I can't believe Mike Wayne is giving y'all some attitude. He said, don't at me. So understand this. He's saying you could see a green window and think you hit that green timing perfect. And if you miss it, that's because it's constantly moving. So basically, if you miss a shot that you think you might hit, shut up and just keep playing. That's all I'm reading. That's how I'm reading he's saying right there. I ain't gonna front. Now, this is a problem when it comes to dunking, especially when they spoke about how difficult it is to use the meter. And a lot of times when you think you time it and miss, now I think he put in something, a kind of safe haven where you can't even come and complain about missing greens or nothing like that. But anyways, let's continue on. Now, someone actually posted this tweet with Giannis doing a quick push animation down the court, and people was worried. So guard up on defense posted this tweet. He said, get this blowout dribble out the game, Mike. It will turn into the speed glitch all over again, or at least high cap it to 6'4" and under, and only usable in backcourt. So a lot of people was worried about the speed glitch. Now, Donovan Martin actually responded and said, genuinely curious as how that happened. So Mike Wayne then responded and said, when we're in development, we often randomly assign SIGs for testing purposes to get more eyes on the new animations. The assignments get cleaned up as we finalize the day one roster, usually the last couple of weeks before ship. A lot of other things have changed since community day. So basically,
as we start this fight. Big body kick land.
Oh, and there he goes working off that jab again. How's your jab?
I mean, the jab's nice. I love throwing the jab. But you realize that as MMA evolves, guys will start to fight behind a very educated jab. It's just like boxing. The most thrown punch in the first one you learn is a jab.
Right.
And in MMA, guys are starting to take that same approach because it is such an effective weapon.
So just over 20 total strikes have already landed for Nate Diaz. Man, it's almost like he's got a rangefinder out there. Just too easy as he connects with another good series of punches there.
If you're boxing this guy and only boxing him, you will be in trouble. Big punch lands over the top. How's he gonna follow this one?
Pretty effective strike there as he's led with that left hand.
It's his best strike. It does not matter what fight stance he's in.
Well, the left hook has been there at times, not that time. Matthews' shot is blocked. Strike lands there, and somehow his opponent's chin held up.
His opponent's chin held up, but you do not want to be on the receiving end of those types of strikes.
Really timing his shot.
He needs to start looking to finish now because he's got his opponent hurt very bad.
Oh, big leg. 30 seconds now to go in round one. Just out of range with that right hook.
He's throwing every part of himself into these big leg kicks. Game of inches right there, boy. Wow. It was good night if that landed.
You ready? You ready? Round two underway.
Oh!
Nice punch there by Diaz. Oh, beautiful jab by him there, really taking advantage of what is an obvious edge and reach. Matthews' lower jaw now starting to show signs of swelling.
He's hurt.
Well, not sure if I saw a Stockton slap in there, but it has been punches and bunches from Nathan Diaz tonight.
As it always is, right? Nate is a guy that is going to overwhelm you with volume. And tonight, he's starting to enter that flow state that will allow him to do just that. Big liver kick lands under the elbow.
All right, so he's landed some good shots tonight, but this is not a combo meal, right? No three-piece, no soda. It's one and done more often than not.
John, don't you come to me without a combo. I want the whole platter. Give him the whole platter, young man. Put some punches together. Make this guy take the whole thing. Give him more than one strike. You have now found a setup punch. The jab is landing consistently. Find something that's going to go behind it. Great punch.
Oh!
Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad, John. He's got to press him. He's got to go chase that finish down now.
Matthews better move here. Back and forth we go. Oh!
He's in trouble. He's hurt bad.
Back to the feet. Well, a really good second round for him thus far. After a somewhat lackluster first round, he has found the rhythm and found his striking range. Scary proposition for the opponent now here in round two.
Big, powerful punch lands. Now he gets back to range.
Matthews' strike attempt there is blocked. as if he's been doing it for 20 years, right?
I mean, he has been doing it. You know, he's got a great boxing coach in Richard Perez, a guy that he believes in, a guy that...
Whoa!
Dude's hurt. Serve him up. Go get him.
Oh, he might be out.
Game of inches right there, boy. Wow. It was a good night if that landed.
Much improved defensively as he blocks the shot. And that's the end of round number 2. All right, so there's the horn signifying the end of the round. We had a knockout.
Are you ready? You ready?
Oh, lands another beautiful strike to the body, really starting to connect at will when it comes to working the body, and especially effective doing it later in this fight. Didn't see a lot of that from him in the earlier rounds.
Good stick. It's very tricky when he throws that body kick.
Tagged him with the left. Right hand upstairs. Very nice leg kick there by Jake Matthews. Lands to the body there. Matthews' lower jaw is extremely swollen now. Throwing that jab now again. The fighter evades. Right hand upstairs. Nice connection there by Nate Diaz. Not a guy you want to let get going here on the feet, DC.
No, because it's all downhill with Nate, right? It's the activity that will overwhelm his opponents, and this looks like the start of that. He's got to be careful dipping his head when he's throwing that jab.
Oh!
What a fantastic strike to throw at the exact right moment. He deserves this move. Go finish his fight.
Now a knee. Oh, he's got that right hand going tonight, DC. Connected with it there.
He's thrown so many left jabs to throw that right punch straight down the pipe. It's unreal.
Well, confidence is high. I repeat, confidence is high. And I got to think when you knock a fighter down in the previous round, that's going to think you can do it again.
I mean, confidence is key in anything you do in regards to fighting. So, for him to secure that knockdown early, he has to feel good going forward. Big punch lands through the middle. Oh, inside kick.
Trying to hammer that lead leg. Oh, combination lands, and it seemed like almost every strike found the target.
He's so accurate.
Oh, huge right hand.
He needs to start looking to finish now because he's got his opponent hurt very bad.
Back and forth we go.
That one landed clean.
Matthews gets caught with that punch. Got to shore up the defense here. Seconds left. Well, no problem getting inside to land that straight punch. He's got a huge edge in reach, and he made good use of it there. Oh! How about those 5 minutes? All right, let us look back at some of the action from that previous round.
Are you ready? You ready?
Fourth round now. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Well, he didn't like that left hand.
He's got him hurt here.
Beautiful strike.
And he lands. Oh!
Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad, John. He's got to press him. He's got to go chase that finish down now. He's mixing up his target. He's throwing kicks. He's throwing punches.
All right, so there he goes, continuing to land that jab. When they put this highlight together, it's just going to be one head snapping back.
It's going to be boxers going back and watching this guy and going, wow, this is what a jab is supposed to look like.
Oh, and he caught the kick.
Nice looping punch.
All right, less than 3 minutes remain in round 4. Out of range with that one. Oh, right up the gut, DC. He's in a world of trouble now.
They say the straight ones are the ones that get there first, and it got right to the target.
Lands flush with that right hand. Back to his patented kicks here, but just out of range. Right hand upstairs. Oh!
He's in trouble. He's hurt bad.
And he lands a kick to the leg now. Pretty good work on the feet tonight by Matthews. Oh, straight right. Try to establish that jab. Less than a minute to go in the round. Very nice leg kick there by Diaz. Visibly limping here. And he caught the kick. We'll see what he can do with it.
Look at him whip his hip into that kick.
Just missed with that right hand. Wow! How about those 5 minutes? Well, he had a lot more than a puncher's chance coming in. Big knockdown for him in the previous round. DC, talk us through the highlights.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
5th and final round.
Ooh, what a punch.
Well, Nate Diaz has certainly found the range here early, DC. This is a fighter close to my heart, close to my left forearm. 209 representing well here tonight. Got clipped with a right hand. Oh!
Shoes hurt. Serve him up. Go get him.
Both guys landing at a pretty decent clip. Now his opponent's really on the ropes.
His opponent's on Beach Street. He's hurt so bad. I don't know what he's going to do to stay in this fight. He loaded up on that right hand, too.
Timely defense there. Huge block for him.
Nice punch there.
Oh, what a shot to the body. He told us he was going to achieve. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. It does not get much better than that.
3 minutes now to go in this one. Well, you can chalk this up to a forgettable night at the office. He is losing the fight. His cardio is essentially on empty. Might be time to pass that control.
It's time to pass the stick. Hand it over to your homeboy, man. It's over. You tried, and there's an aim for effort, but it's over.
Man, is he timing his shots well here tonight, DC. It's hard to recall him being this accurate in the past.
I mean, he is so sharp. And not only is he accurate, he's also keeping very busy.
Matthews gets hit by that leg kick. You may want to start checking some of these.
Straight punch lands.
Nice jab by him there. He's going nose hunting tonight, huh?
Yeah, he's great with the jab.
Oh, thunderous leg kick rounds his opponent, trying to stay upright. But man, that changed the complexion of this fight.
Johnny's hurt. He's hurt really badly by that one big leg kick.
Oh, overhand to the dome. Oh, liver shot right on the button.
Liver shot, that is the most debilitating shot in all of fighting. It is very difficult to recover.
Oh, big left hook there.
Big kick land.
Absolutely gorgeous shot to spell the Well, the tension is palpable as this fight gets underway, and going to be interesting to see how this matchup plays out. Definite striker on one side against another guy who can really do it all.
And in those situations, normally the guy that's more well-rounded will be the one that will find success. I want to see how this plays out.
Well, perhaps a sign of things to come as he lands a kick there.
Nice kick landed by this gentleman.
Nice kick there by Volkanovski. Oh, that's a big connection there from McGregor, DC.
I mean, big strike landed for Ireland's favorite son, Conor McGregor.
Good series of strikes by him there.
Great job of mixing it up, staying active, keeping busy, doing great work.
Volkanovski gets caught with that punch. Not the easiest guy in the world to hit, but he got caught there. Oh, roundhouse kick, DC.
That was a beautiful strike, and that is the most powerful kick that you can land in a fight.
All right, so he continues to use his jab effectively here, DC. He gets that hand to the target pretty quickly.
I mean, just right away, blasting the jab after jab after jab. He is a phenomenal boxer with a vast understanding of fighting behind that educated jab.
So just over 20 total strikes have found the mark for Conor McGregor. That's a really strong leg kick there by Volkanovski. Looked like he might have landed there. Instead, a swing and a miss by McGregor.
Powerful leg kick lands.
All right, so a nice job there defensively to raise the guard and prevent any damage.
Those hands never leave where they're supposed to be. And if you do that, most times you will block the shot that's incoming.
Oh, man. I think you jumped out. Best head kick you'll ever see.
You don't really stand after you take a head kick like this. That is such toughness to even be on his feet right now. Look at him chopping the wood. Chop the wood with those leg kicks.
He blocks the punch. Oh, nice punch there by McGregor. All right, so he continues to land that jab. His opponent said he was ready for it, but doesn't appear to be.
You're not ready until you're in there. You can watch all the film you want.
Oh! Oh, he might be out.
He's in trouble. He's hurt bad.
And now he lands a combination. Oh! Tried to set up the straight left, but he missed. Effective punch there by McGregor. Oh, he's got that right hand going tonight, DC. Connected with it there.
He's thrown so many left jabs to throw that right punch straight down the pipe. It's unreal.
Final seconds here of round one. That horn sounds means we have reached the end of round one. Well, it's one thing to have length, it's another thing to use it, and he does it as well as anyone. Nice kick there by McGregor. Well, Alexander Volkanovski has never lost a pro fight at 140. Oh! Head back with that offering, DC. He is hurt.
What a beautiful uppercut. It landed beautifully. Perfect placement on that shot.
69 total strikes have now landed for Conor McGregor. And landing at a 49% clip tonight thus far against Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
Look at him whip his hip into that kick.
Well, we'll see if he can turn this defense into offense, but he's doing a great job blocking shots here tonight.
As of right now, he's thinking more defensively.
Whoa!
Dude's hurt. Serve him up.
Whoa!
Go get him.
Oh! Oh! Well, he has landed some good shots, DC, but really unable to string anything together in terms of solid combinations here.
It's because he's not committing to it fully. He throws his jabs, He may float a right hand out there, but he's not really sitting down on the right hand. He really doesn't seem to have the intent on landing it. He's got to be confident.
Right up the gut. I'm not sure his opponent knows where he is.
No, he doesn't know where he is. He's hurt real bad. That punch landed in the perfect spot.
All right, 2 minutes now to go in the round. Punch is blocked. Oh!
What a fantastic strike. Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad, John. He's got to press him. He's got to go chase that finish down now.
I'm having some great fights today. 3 back-to-back bangers. That's crazy. Back to back. Let's get it.
Well, these guys have been on each other's radars for quite some time.
All right.
Tonight,
Come on.
it shall be done. Both guys well-rounded. You think you're getting a kickboxing match tonight or what?
You just don't know, right? You don't know who's going to be able to employ their strategy the way that they need to. This is a close fight on paper, and also in every performance we have seen them put on. These guys seem to be the mirror image of each other.
And he connects there with a punch, so pretty good striking display by him thus far.
He throws everything so straight and so accurate. Oh, he hurt him bad with a jab. He didn't like that left hand.
Oh, big left.
What a fantastic strike to throw at the exact right moment. He deserves this moment. Go finish his fight.
Well, perhaps a sign of things to come as he lands a kick there.
Nice kick landed by this gentleman.
Oh, beautiful jab there. It's one thing to have flank, of course. It's another to use it effectively. Beautiful job with that jab.
Ooh, what a punch. Liver kick.
Well, that kick landed the body beautifully placed right underneath that elbow. Let's see if he makes the adjustments now defensively. Several bogey's.
This might be the biggest shot of this entire fight. He landed a massive hook to put his opponent on wobbly legs.
Well, he certainly...
Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad, John. He's got to press him. He's got to go chase that finish down now.
Oh, big left hook there.
And landing some insults. Dude's hurt. Serve him up. Go get him. Oh, right hand drops him.
Oh, big left. Knee to the body. Beautiful knee. So 28 total strikes and counting have already found the mark for Yoel Romero. Oh, he lands another strike to the body, really starting to connect on a lot of shots to the midsection, and these will take their toll as this fight goes into the latter rounds.
Big punch lands over the top. How's he going to follow this one up?
Oh, he lands a huge right hand.
Oh, takes that knock.
Kevin Holland, though. I like how he be talking shit in the middle of his fights. I ain't pay to get in the cage and put the sticks down. I ain't tell you that. Alright. I'll let you get a couple off, nigga. Fuck. You're good. Shut up.
Nobody matches up to this guy. He is that good at getting you to the ground and choking you out.
Whiffs on that offering. Nice connection there by Nate Diaz. Not a guy you want to let get going here on the feet these days.
No, because we all now know the thing, right? It's the activity that will overwhelm his opponents, and this looks like the start of that. Big, powerful punch lands. Now he
You gotta watch for my uppercuts. You go to the body a lot. I just ain't been doing it, but you gotta switch it up just a little bit. He got that reach. I ain't gonna lie. He got reach.
The most effective weapon in all of boxing, in all of combat sports, is a jab. This young man has a knowledge of using it like no one else. He's very precise when he throws that body kick.
Just misses with the jab there. Diaz just counters that punch.
And that right hand landed square.
30 seconds now to go in the opening round. Big power shot there.
Over and over, same story. Punch after punch to the head.
Oh, an obvious limp there. His leg hurting for certain.
Oh, John, that was so nice.
Ooh, shit.
All right, let's check out some of the action, DC.
That fucking leg kick.
Punching in that last one.
I mean, he looks like a boxer. He looks like a professional boxer out there throwing it.
Nah, I don't know what that was.
All right, here we go with round two. Round one, pretty good, not great, but some action on both sides.
We can't always hope for fireworks, John. Sometimes you got to deal with the ebbs and flows of a fight. In round number one, you saw both guys have success. Let's see who really charges out ahead in the second round. What a punch.
Trying to kick the leg out. Oh, that right hand is on point. Just exhausting watching some of these takedowns. Nice job to stick with it there to complete the takedown. All right, he's got the feet on the hips now, DC, in a pretty good position to get out, I would think, if he so chooses.
Absolutely. This is the ideal position for escaping. Now, you're not going to get a submission off or anything like that, but you have...
Diaz gets the takedown. All right, he's sort of hanging out here unguarded, DC. Not sure if he's trying to bait him in or what, but not great body language here. Oh, nice job to reverse position on the ground.
It was bad, but now it's not so bad. What a fantastic move.
So a much different approach going into this one.
Oh, man, look at that. Picture perfect. Got to the leg, got to the position, got another mistake.
All right, so he's sort of turtled up here. Not great body language. Perhaps he's trying to bait him in a little bit. Oh, working hard to get back up again, and he's there.
Big punch landed from the top. How's he going to follow this one up?
Oh, and he gets tagged. Nice combination there, and it might not be a bad idea for the opposition to just hit that head first.
He was landing one before. Now he's throwing everything in combination, and they're all landing.
All right, has the guard closed here. Oh, wow, that happened quickly as the fighter reverses position there on the ground.
Unbelievable position change. Wow, what a transition.
Under a minute now to go in this one. 45 seconds remain in the round. All right, half guard hold here and a lot of offensive options, I would think, at his disposal.
Oh, he's got a ton of options. The answer maybe not more, but I believe the safest option of all are take him down, cut him, take him down, cut him. Over and over, he's securing these takedowns.
Oh, well placed with the hand fist there by Diaz. All right, he's sort of hanging out here unguarded, DC. Not sure if he's trying to bait him in or what, but not great body language here. 10 minutes in the books. All right, so the takedown's the big storyline in that previous round.
Shit getting wicked out there.
All right, another round is now underway. Close to the previous two rounds. We'll see who makes the requisite adjustments now.
The adjustments are going
Just like you bob and weave. Yeah.
All right, good movement by him here on the ground. He really is a master of these transitions.
He is a master of moving on the ground. You never know where he's going to be.
All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. All right, he's hanging out inside the closed guard of his opponent here, DC. You got to be careful. Oh, reversal from DC.
What a way to switch the position. Fantastic movement by the Modern Fighter.
Side control now. Diaz is back in full length. Working off of his back here. Looks like he may try to hip escape. Close guard. Looks like he might attempt the guillotine now. Nicely done. All right, half guard position here. We'll see what he can do with it. A lot of weapons at his disposal from this dominant position.
Oh, man. I feel for a wrestler. This is the most dominant position in all of fighting because wrestlers
I'm
don't
learning. I'm
necessarily
learning.
need to have
I'm learning what size you do it on. What size it go? What size is what direction?
big punch landed through the middle.
Huge block there. Now, if you're the opponent, you really got to be careful. Right to the target. Let's see if his opponent can survive.
I cannot believe he's still standing after taking that punch. Nice.
And there's another power takedown there. Oh, how about the speed on that reversal there? I mean, I know you can get out of some bad spots, but not with that type of speed.
You cannot allow him to get leverage on the bottom. What a sweep.
All right, so inside the open guard of his opponent. You got to be careful playing around for too long here on the ground with this guy. Posturing up now.
And now the damage is about to start.
Well, there are few things more fun to watch in mixed martial arts than these type.
Nice guillotine attempt here.
And he's out. Good movement by him here, transitioning very well on the ground tonight.
Step for step, he's staying with his opponent in every transition.
All right, he's trying to control posture here. Now trying to hip escape.
He's going to start trying to move to a submission here. It looks like he's trying to attack the arm triangle. Now he can escape.
Bottom fighter trying to control posture, unable to do so.
And now he's in a lot of danger. He's got to grab that head or he's going to get blasted.
Oh, nice job to reverse position on the ground.
It was bad, but now it's not so bad. What a fantastic sweep.
Oh, and he's back up again. Those get-ups have been there for him all night. Well, it's all pace and pressure down the stretch. He is really lighting him up on defense right now. Oh, and there's a takedown attempt. Not a great entry there, DC.
Not a great entry. He showed everything he was going to do. He didn't hide his takedowns. You knew from the moment this fight started he was going to go get a shot off. The opponent was ready, and he defended it perfectly.
Slipped that offering from his opponent in the past. We've seen him sort of lean on the toughness tonight to keep up the defense.
Every inch of the fighter in front of us doesn't have to be tough anymore. The more he can slip strike, the more we can prolong beautiful takedowns
Slick
he has
takedown
landed.
attempt there, and got to think that's something that's going to give him confidence moving forward in this fight.
A lot of confidence, and it happened that this could change the fight. Another takedown lands.
All right, he's very comfortable fighting off this back, DC. Now looks like he's trying to hip escape.
Yeah, he's trying to hip escape or maybe look for a Kimura here.
And there's the buzzer.
Shit looking crazy. Niggas is sweating hard. Niggas is sweating hard. No BG don't want none of this.
Hey, I'm giving out warnings. Hey, your nigga caught me. He caught me lacking, boy. I've been pissed ever since.
Yeah, the ground and pound will keep winning from this position. He's putting him in exactly the positions he needs to be in right now. He's able to relax here. And
What y'all 1v1?
a veteran of so many fights, that as long as he's on top, he's winning. He feels like he's winning here.
Man, pull up in real life, man. Put them gloves on.
Both fighters back to their feet now. 3 minutes now to go in the fight. Takedown land.
Where you been?
Basically, he's saying that was not his SIGs on Giannis. In fact, I think he mentioned that it was, and I got this in mind because I can't wait to start dropping SIGs. Damian Lillard. That might be Damian Lillard, one of Damian Lillard's SIGs right there. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on that one. I ain't gonna front you. I gotta keep my eyes on that one. So, anyways, the next thing, Black Cobra posts this clip talking about a little miss layup. He said, I know what Baluba mentioned green or miss layup timing. Not sure if it'll be that way at launch. And then he posts this clip. I want y'all to check it out where he missed a wide open layup and a pretty decent move, y'all. Check it out.
This man missed a wide open layup.
Now, of course, there are a few responses.
They want
and
you
this
to
is
put
one
that
that
meat on
caused
that.
Baluba or Mike Wayne to respond. Jay said, Baluba, is it still going to be green or miss? Then Mike Wayne responded and said, shot level timing is only green or miss on Hall of Fame Park or Rec or Pro-Am. But this is not either, basically. All right, so don't complain. Wait until we go to the park or whatever. Because that was a crazy one. I ain't gonna front with y'all. Now, we got to talk about this clip as well. Worm show a contested shot. And his tweet was that 2K18 contest shots are back. Said, can we see stretch bills and sharp return? Hashtag NBA 2K24. And he got this clip from Black Cobra himself. Now, the thing is, I always give these kind of things a pass, to be honest with y'all, because I know they don't play on a high difficulty when they go to these events. Not like they're going and just playing Hall of Fame. A lot of them. Some of them might be playing pro to get clips or whatever. So I don't get carried away. And someone made a statement saying, according to Mike Wayne, with the pure green window, it is possible to hit any shot that is not 100% smothered. And then Mike Wayne came and responded to that, and he said the window shrinks exponentially for lower rated or badged players. Okay, so he responded basically to say, yes, it's still possible to hit these contest shots, but it's gonna be harder to hit than the average shot. Let me know what y'all think. Again, I expect them, they usually play like pro or those some lower difficulties, so I don't get carried away with stuff like that. And Mike Wayne tweeted this out. Said Klay Thompson pro play jump shot will be receiving some minor changes to more accurately reflect his real-life shot. Unfortunately, it didn't make our launch day build cutoff, so will need to be patched in a later date. Just a heads up in case you decide to use his J for your my players. Guess what? This game got a lot of changes still to be made. Even before launch, they're gonna make a lot of changes. Right now, they're probably making a lot of changes. So the version they played is not the version we will be playing at launch, and it might not be the version we're gonna be playing a few weeks after launch. And that's usually how it goes. So anyways, So someone posted this and then the SAR actually commented, of course. Bill tweeted this out. Said moving behind the back into blowout dribble and curry slide. Hashtag NBA 2K24. Now on the clip, the dude got beat so easy, right? The SAR had to tell him what he was doing wrong defensively. So the SAR then responded and said, again, defensively, you should not be in LT defense this far from the basket initially. Use the left stick movement and tap LT to square up to the ball. Once in range, when he is not downhill, then you can LT. More free movement types, left stick, LT and left stick, LT, right T, and left stick. He sprints, don't slide, run. Simple. Simple. I think that's pretty simple defensive tips. And I ain't gonna front with y'all, I usually use this anyway, right? So it seems like it's more prevalent in NBA 2K24, which is gonna be interesting. And then he also followed up with this. He said, try to defend your position and not defend on a body up to save you from bad decisions and positioning. So positioning matters this year, which is a huge W. I've been preaching positions for years and a lot of people don't listen. So this time, the defense, they did say it before, there's going to be a skill gap. And not only a skill gap, there is going to be a huge IQ gap when it comes to the defense. So y'all going to want to watch Bruce's tutorial. That's all I'm saying. Y'all know I'm a defensive mind. A lot of people really love offense, and I do too. But I take my pride when it comes to playing defense. I love defense. So that's something we're going to really study and dissect this year. He then followed up with this tweet. He said, if you are a student, you will notice that in LT and RT, your speed is faster with left stick pointed at an angle rather than trying to mirror the offensive player movement, especially when they move laterally. So what he's saying basically is if you get beat to a certain direction, if you move at an angle, you could probably make up some space. So I ain't gonna front with y'all. This is sounding really good. This is sounding like something you really gotta dissect and study to improve on. And I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I could hear right now everybody saying the game ain't got no defense because they ain't putting no time in learning the defense, while Brute supporters gonna be A1 because they all gonna have the keys. I got y'all. Trust me, I got y'all. I love this. Now he continued to say, experiment with coming out of the sprint with the left stick versus the left trigger. Said then try left trigger, right trigger, and left stick. Said see what works best for you in different situations. Yeah, the SAR. Stop giving them all the gems. Stop giving them all the gems. Let them come to Brew video for that. He said for quicker change of direction, left stick movement. Is your friend with the issues of not always facing the ball, but you can face up with left trigger. Once you get in position, left stick equal forward movement, but when guarding the ball, you get a step or two before he turns completely. Come on, this all. Why you dropping all the gems? Let it come to Brute tutorial for it. Come on, my G. But great information, man. I do appreciate the time you take, for real. I do appreciate when the devs take time to break down these things. And these are things I will be studying, like in depth. Trust me. But anyways, 2K Labs post this clip of the behind the back cross speed boost. I want y'all to check it out. Ooh. And the SAR then spoke about, of course, defenders' decisions again. And he said, defender decision made this even more open.
Brother, man?
He said, if you choose to take away the shot, you will give up the try.
It's all right.
LT and RT with a stick at an angle defensively, plus good defender.
I'm not a competitive player, am I?
There
am I on the esports team?
Right,
Let me know, brother,
again,
man.
I tell y'all, angles is the thing. Think angles, not necessarily mirroring. That's what he said in his previous tweet. So the SAR, I mean, I appreciate you, but stop dropping all the gems, man. You gotta leave something for Brute. You gotta leave something for Brute. You're going too far, my G. Okay. Chico posted a tweet of the walk back. Clearly, there was a walk back in the game, right? Now I want y'all to check out the clip of the walk back.
This 2K gonna be so cheesy. Oh my
Now, there is also a kind of crossover launch that a lot of people are doing in their videos again. There's also a launch. Now, someone tweeted this out. His name is Great Paw D. He said, I effing hate speed boosting at NBA 2K at Beluber. And Beluber came forward and said, this cross launch and the walk back will be patched. So again, I'm telling y'all, no matter what you see from these creators on these events, just look at the gameplay and how smooth it runs, because trust me, it is not the same game we'll get at launch. They are looking at stuff and they're gonna be patching a lot of stuff. They're gonna be moving stuff around. So yes, the Giannis move, that the buzz that a lot of people was sharing with that clip, they're gonna be patched, because that's not even Giannis move. That escape that a lot of people was doing, not only the escape, but the walk back, that's gonna be out of the game. There'll be a lot of stuff that will be moved around. Trust me, by launch. The Klay Thompson, even a jumper, they're gonna probably add a more pro play type jumper to Klay Thompson, or more shouting one. So expect a lot of change going forward, and you know your boy gonna always be here to keep y'all up to date. So anyways, man, let me know what y'all think about the video. Let me know how y'all think the background is coming along so far, man. Let me know. Let me move the mic so y'all can see the greatest rapper of all time, Tupac, in the background. Y'all know what it is. The GOAT is a little blurry though. That's because it's focused on your boy Brute. But anyways, it's not complete. I got a lot more changes coming. Trust your boy. But anyways, man, appreciate y'all coming through, supporting your boy and getting the info. I got y'all, man. I'm on a different type of time this year. Till next time, all best one. Be safe out there, y'all. Peace. So we're gonna be getting straight into the video. We got a reaction for y'all, and this is the first time I'm seeing it, of course. I did not check out any other videos, so this is a live reaction of the NBA. NBA 2K24 City. Okay, so this is next gen. They already showed what they're doing for current gen, but this is next gen. All right, so let's get straight into the video, straight into the reaction, and let me know your thoughts as well, y'all. Welcome to the all new city. Yo. This look good though. Like this look good though. Ooh. Yeah, I'm so hyped, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so hyped, man. I am so hyped. All right, we gonna go back to it. We gonna go back one more time, but this time we gonna go and just slow it down a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, not too much. We gonna go, let's say, a 0.25 speed. That's the furthest you could go, right? All right. So we just checking out. It's not about the music, so I'm gonna mute it and let's go. All right. So of course they got the Mamba Moment spot. You could find it in the city. The Kobe statue. All right, I see. You see the strip, the B strip. So your boy was right with the linear design. I like it. Boy, that shit look amazing, boy. That thing look amazing. The beach side, they actually got people chilling. Got courts on the beach. I wonder if you could play, man. That would be nice, ain't it? The rec center.
Get my boots.
I can't wait to see rec center gameplay. I think they should be. We should be seeing some tomorrow, by the way. A court on the beach or the park on the beach. Okay. Ronnie 2K. Ronnie 2K probably do be rocking that floater in real life too. Art of shooting. What is that? A practice gym?
Hold on.
Oh, is this Chris Berkeley's? Okay, that's probably his gym right there. That's probably Chris Berkeley's gym right there. All right.
Put him in the timeout bin.
The theater is back, y'all. The theater is back. What is that? Wait.
I can deal with negativity.
What's
I
this?
love it.
Starting 5. What's that? What is that?
Put him in the timeout.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay. Ooh, I need to see that dread moving though.
Oh wait.
Oh Lord. Yo, 2K, please allow us. I need these camera angles so I could do some crazy montages, man. These camera angles we cannot have, man. Can we have some access to these? We know it's in the game because y'all are doing all this. I think they got 2 from what I was reading, because I did read over. So they got 2 different affiliations, Elite and Rise. I think Shakedown is one. Shakedown, my guy Shake. And of course, LD2K. LD! I don't know, man. To both of them, my guys, man. Who do I go with? It seems like one is a more futuristic, and the next one is a more back in the day, old school. You know what I mean? This one is more old school. The other one was more futuristic. That's fire. 2 affiliations, y'all. 2. All right. Damn, you gotta do them like all that. Doing some contact animation, some drip right here, the chain. All right. New celebration. You know I got that LeBron James King. You know what I'm saying? You know I gotta rock that out.
English. God damn.
Some new celebration as well. Ooh, am I too hype, y'all? Am I too hype for this one? So I'm gonna definitely put out this reaction. Of course, we're gonna go and check out the Corsair report, see if we could check out any tidbits. But man, I'm hype. I ain't gonna front. I'm hype. Got me something like so. We got it. That's it. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about the reaction. Let me know what y'all think about the trailer, y'all. The first time we see anything when it comes to the city for next gen. I can't wait to get my hands on it to see what's going on. You know I'm a red guy on 5v5, but of course I'll be out there in the city as well. So anyways, y'all know what it is. Your boy saying first time to the channel, like, share, subscribe. How bless one till next time. Be safe out there, y'all. Peace.
Got my channel back. All them haters did was give life to brute reacts.
yesterday was crazy. Now everybody going back to sleep while your boy Brute out here still keep you on up to date on everything because the devs been going crazy and dropping a lot of nuggets. And there are going to be a lot of changes from what people was actually showing y'all in the gameplay. So anyway, sit back, relax. You already see your boy, man. You already see your boy with the background improving every video. So grab yourself a brew and let's get to the video.
Yeah, but I can't find nobody selling it. Soldier boots. Alright, soldier. Let me get specific. Soldier boots. 3. Online only, please. 1 chaos or who's texting me? Told me the keys going to the market. I don't even have them. Oh, yes, I do. Alright, let's try. Can I get one of those though? That's already a 4 stat. Can I get a 2 blue and a red? At least, can I get a 2 blue and a red? That's the problem. Can't get the one that I need off the rip. And the ones that the 2 blue and the red, they charging the arm and the leg for. Now that's the problem. It's not that I can't buy the 1C. It's just if I buy a random one, I got to build it. I'm trying to avoid that. You know what I'm saying? 2 blue and a red, 1 chaos orb. It's kind of what I need. But then I need to raise the amount of come on, bro. I can't sell a 4 link for 1. Man, I want an arm and a leg for a 4 link. Come on with your boy. I might not have a choice. Alright, fine. You fucking win. You win. Alright, you win. You fucking win. Assholes, man. Now I got to build it from scratch. build it from scratch now. So I was trying to avoid doing. That's the problem. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, fuck. That's calling me. Whole lot. I'm gonna need those. I can't even sell them. That's the worst part about it. Can I get back to it? killing me, boy. What's up the cost? Alright, cool. Two blues and the green. What about two reds and a green? See, that would have been better. do need a movement skill though. That's what I need. That's what I need. I got it. Need 62 strength. technically, I could do that. No, I can't. I need that so I can take this off. Put this on. 41 decks. Make decks and strength. 41 decks. I need decks and strings. What I gotta do? Then I could put cast on. That makes more sense. Take that off, replace it. And then I do cast on. That make more sense.
Real quick, I don't even know why this was like on my screen or whatever. It's like a weird thumbnail with like Adam. So I'm gonna start off a little scatterbrain, but all of my streams actually end up being scatterbrain. I just gotta, we all got our own platforms, and what's being purported and pushed by different people are gonna be different things, and there's a lot of soullessness, and there's a lot of fuckery and debauchery being pushed and kind of, ingratiated like we're going into a land of lawlessness and just anything goes. We do got to start putting some parameters, and I saw this clip. There's two people who I like, but I vehemently at least disagree with, and you're no stranger to the nigga who's saying the shit. But randomly, I was watching DJ Vlad's channel like yesterday or whatever the case is, and of course I see DJ Vlad and Adam22 doing an interview, so I'm like, I gotta watch. Like, these are my media partners, my media peers, and I fucking watched the clip, and Adam is on here saying that incest should be legal. I couldn't fucking believe it. Now, let me give you a little gist of what the fuck he was talking about. They started off talking about the Island Boys, but I'm only even showing this because this type of fuckery is not gonna be allowed, and not gonna be, these even ideas won't even be floated around, especially in hip-hop. You know what I mean? We gotta viciously and vigorously make sure people who are even open to the idea of, we get it, you let your wife get fucked, but we not gonna just sit by and have siblings fucking, kissing each other, doing that. We're not fucking with that type of shit. I don't know when hip-hop got to the place of just anybody could do anything, but basically hip-hop is still a culture, and usually with a culture you have some type of traditionals and codes and morals. And again, if you want to let your wife get fucked, that's on you. But please don't bring that incest shit over there. Keep it with them biker niggas over there. Like, I think Adam was into BMX and all that. All that incest shit should stay there, okay? We're not into incestual relationships, incestual activities. And yes, it's shocking, and yet people talk about it, but it's not something that will, be ever accepted. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anyway, listen to the conversation a little bit, then I'm gonna go on some other shit.
If cloud chasing is now, it consumed my mind to have a good time, even though they probably primarily date men. And, I get that. There's even guys in the porn world who I know do.
You see, Porter's fucked up Adam's like Adam, by the way, me and him, we text pretty frequently. But Adam is what I call morally bankrupt. Devoid. Like, morally bankrupt. I think porn has done it to him too. I think there's some trauma there, and there is like another just intangible thing that I'm gonna just call white boy shit, because that's the only way I could explain it.
Do gay stuff and they're not gay, but they can rationalize it in their head or whatever.
Right.
Your twin brother, I mean, that's a lot. That's like, to me, that's just like kind of this one sacred thing that I don't even know any female twins or female sisters that hook up with each other. And I know a bunch of sisters who are in porn, but not that hook up with each other. Like, that's a line that they won't cross.
I mean, but I've seen porn scenes with sisters. Actual sisters.
Actual sisters?
It's crazy that everything is now compared to porn, but let me get a little bit into
You don't do this. It's a bad
not the
idea.
hill that I want to die on, but I also don't really
I
think...
won't die on this hill.
Hold on.
Or your mom.
But that argument kind of goes out the window when we're talking about two dudes, right? So would you be willing
It
to
does and
accept...
it doesn't, because it's still under the same umbrella, to me. There's biological reasons why this should not happen. There's biological reasons. Nature is telling you don't do this. It's a bad
not the
idea.
hill that I want to die on, but I also don't really
I
think...
won't die on this hill. I am anti-incest.
I don't think this is a good
If
use
I
of
am
our government's
bashed
time.
for bullying incestors, then that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Right.
I'm okay. Okay? I'm not bashing gay people. Shout out, I have gay employees. I have like who have that.
Well, that is a good point.
You know
It's kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
And before they were the Island Boys, when they were just Instagram personalities that were going viral.
They were the Epstein was their act incest. That's perfectly fine, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's certain things that are biologically, you know, if you have like the royal family,
all communities where they're not really allowed to date outside of their community, they end up committing incest at astounding rates.
Yeah, that's gross.
It's gross.
Yeah.
But it is happening. And I don't know, yeah, you're right. I don't know to what extent the government is stepping in. Anyway, the point I was making about the Island Boys is just, if they were genuinely gay and genuinely attracted to each other.
Okay. Again, it's bigger problems about the Island Boys, but let me at least say, and maybe as years go by and I wither away, and maybe there's some new personalities and hip hop completely changes, maybe this changes, but the reason why with certain type of behavior you got to put a stop to, or you got to vehemently, reject, is because they all lead to this path of degeneracy, and we all know where it goes, right? A little bit of the acceptance of this free-flowing, gender fluid, anybody could fuck anybody shit. Now people are saying, well, why can't you fuck your own brother, right? Or your own sister? After that then goes to pedophilia. I'm being honest with you, okay? Now, of course, I'm not accusing Adam of being cool with pedophilia. But these type of conversations and this free-for-all, morally bankrupt, morally devoid of any type of, he's thinking about it. I've always said Adam's a very logical dude, but certain things is not logic, it's morals. You get what I mean? It's morals, it's tradition. Not everything is 2 + 2. You know what I mean? There's a lot of gray area in life, not just black and white. This was disturbing to me. I kid you not. So we got to put a stop to this. I would hope this is now what Adam's into, or not into, but like I would hope he's a little bit disgusted or finds that this should be kind of outlawed. But hey, I just want to speak my piece on this, because before we get to niggas talking about pedophilia, I ain't with it. Okay, cool. Chat, welcome. Welcome. Your boy Atkins here. Yeah, we got a few topics to get into. I did miss a part of the Boosie shit that, as I woke up this morning, and I was like, damn, the Boosie topic was all over, and I apologize for last night's stream because it wasn't as compact and I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. So some of the points or videos I wanted to hit to make my points, I didn't exactly do. So, and I was like, damn, how did I miss it? Because I tweeted all this stuff out. So if you guys looked at my Twitter, and if you guys don't know, so Boosie and his daughter is going through it. This was the most egregious video I've seen. And I'm going to stop short from blaming this young woman because it's still a child. And I also do know this is a private and family matter. And here's the thing: when it comes to like
Tacos
family
for
matters, I
dinner?
always tell people like even be careful about
Tacos for
jumping in
dinner?
between
I'm
relationships
down.
between either siblings or even couples, because what ends
Hold
up
up.
happening,
Don't
they're
get me
gonna make up.
excited.
Like these temporary emotions usually go away because there's a stronger bond, and what you say and what you do is why they're gonna dislike you and team up against you to kill you later on. We've seen it in the case where Rick Ross tried to defend Lil Wayne, quote unquote, against Birdman. Birdman still fucking hates his guts, right? Lil Wayne is still calling Birdman daddy, and they're still cool, right? So again,
I'm not gonna pay
you
him
try to
no
defend one person who you thought was gonna take an advantage, and at the end of the day, he squashed the beef with the nigga you were defending him against, and you're still beef with the guy that you were defending him against. So you got to watch out for some of these relationships when you know they're inevitably gonna get back or they're gonna be back to cool. However, this was crazy, and this is why, like, you know, I think social media empowers any stupid thought or any like these random, you know, if you're not thinking that.
Wait, no.
As I get older and I'm trying to like
what's
have
replacing.
kids eventually, right? Bro, I don't want no daughter, bro. By the time I have kids, hopefully I can pick it on the computer. I don't want no goddamn daughter. And the reason why is that the women these days, the young women these days, are being mind programmed by such a negative anti-family, anti-purity, just idiotic mindset that anytime you hear them open their mouths, they're spewing some idiocy that just kind of reaffirms why reality TV, all these other things that are so influential are literally just draining society of any type of morals, any type of IQ, and anything else. Boosie's daughter, and again, I'm still excusing her because she's a teen. She, in a fit of rage going against Boosie, basically said she would rather have a father that was a trapper than she would have a father that was a rich celebrity, because she doesn't enjoy that. She wants a father who was probably breaking the law. Now, granted, most of the issues she's having with Boosie is because Boosie was incarcerated when she was growing up. She talks about him not being there. She talks about how he wasn't there and how he was on death row and this and third. Why was that happening? Boosie was involved in a life, even if he was found innocent or whatever of these charges, he was involved in a street life that took him away from his family. Yet, even though she is like, you know, obviously a product of all that trauma, she's basically saying she would want to do it again. She said the father that she would love is the trapper, not the rich famous guy taking care of her. Listen to this shit.
Like y'all want me to have loyalty for this nigga he don't even have for me. That's not me. I'm sorry, that's not me. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care how big he get. I don't care how low he get. I don't want to be a part of that nigga life. I'm glad I don't gotta call a nigga my daddy no more. He's a bitch. Like for real. I'm glad. Anybody that know me knows. When that conversation came up, oh, do you like being the daughter of a person that's famous? I always said that it was aggravating. I'd rather have I never said I'd rather have a regular, but I said I'd rather have a dad that's trapping or something. Like, don't get me. I'm thankful, but it's just like it's annoying. Like y'all want.
Fellas, we're living in a lost society, man. This is how the future mothers, the future queens. This is their mentality. I know you might just excuse me. Well, this is a upset kid ranting, but this is the mentality of a lot of Black America. She said something that was very consistent with what I hear a lot from a lot of women. No one wants a regular guy that works hard, goes to a regular job, doesn't break the law, pays his taxes, and maybe just doesn't make more than 50, 60. Nobody wants that. They don't want that in the mate, and they don't want that to be their daddy. They either want celebrities or they want drug dealers. It's all about the fast life. So even hearing her saying that, yeah, she don't want a regular daddy, but you definitely want like a nigga who trapping. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. Hey, God bless them, and I hope they figure out some of their family issues. You know, I was making a point last night because I seen even some people was like, yo, damn, like, yo, act like this is family. Why'd you even post it? Well, Boosie's someone who's super open, and by the way, Boosie's exploiting some of these issues. Whether the music video, he's talking about it in interviews, and that's what I was talking about. Even the Vlad TV interviews, I'm like, I'm wondering if Boosie's gonna get to a point. By the way, this is no slick hate, no nothing. I'm wondering if he's gonna get to a point where he realizes his Vlad TV interviews are so popular, he might have to tone it down, because anytime he speaks on somebody or he speaks to a situation, it then usually comes back around where he's either having to live on that hill or die on that hill, actually, in terms of not being a hypocrite. Like, for example, he's talking about snitching, and then people find out somebody next to him snitched. And then he's like, you know what I mean? Or, some of the attention that it might be bringing, because now he has a Fed case, right? He got arrested, he got a Fed case. And then even now, with his family issues, that he's usually open, but you're on Vlad basically talking about your family life. It's kind of like crazy, right? So I'm wondering if he's gonna be like, yo, listen, man, you know, let's not talk about family, because that's what a lot of people do, right? You know, a lot of people when they do interviews, like, nah, let's not talk about family, let's not talk about this, because he's been pretty open. I'm wondering how that changes for him. Anyway, yeah. So I think I played this last night though. Boosie responds to his daughter. He said a few things that was kind of really interesting.
Con artist, bro. Straight con artist. I don't want to see his interview. I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with his children. We don't fuck with them, bro.
I think he's talking about like his brother or something like that.
I'm gonna black.
Now he says
I told her that a couple times.
He's talking about his daughter, because apparently
fucking right. I told her that.
So his daughter put out this video of Boosie being on the phone with her mom, and Boosie was threatening the mom, right? And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Boosie was talking crazy. Like, Boosie was talking about inflicting violence, putting a bag on people. Like, he was talking like a real street nigga. Obviously, is that, like, regardless of how ungrateful the daughter is that something we fucking are saying this is how you deal with your kid? No, but there has to be some type of, I don't want to say law and order, but there has to be some type of respect for authority, right? Do I think that Boosie's gonna put a bag on? Actually, I don't know. It's Boosie. I have no fucking idea. Regardless, I don't really agree with that part, but that's what she played, and Boosie's now responding to it, basically saying, yeah, of course I told him I'll fuck him up, right? And now he's explaining why he said it.
A couple times. Yep. I did it. Yep.
I did it.
Yep. She was embarrassing the fam. I mean, she was giving her body away at football games in the bathroom, man. I mean,
that's my biggest fear, man. Having a daughter who I love so much go out in the streets and devalue herself, that she is the neighborhood cum rag, that she's now looking for validation from men who are just looking to get a nut off. And even as Boosie talks, I can see, like, bro, he's hurt a little bit. And I do think, you know, I've heard him in other settings admit that even when he was talking about his son, he was just like, yo, he wasn't there a lot, and he knows that a lot of things happening now. He even said it for his son, kind of, because his son is kind of on some street shit too. And people are like, yo, Boosie, you're rich. It's like T.I. son, like, why your son's street? And he's like he's admitted a lot that, yo, he kind of fucked up, because when he wasn't there, that's why his son grew up like that. And he missed a part of his son growing up. But the same thing with his daughter. He probably has regrets, like, damn, if I was around, maybe I could have showed her the love that she needed, or been there to make sure that these things ain't happening. But now she's a little bit older, and he's hearing that niggas is fucking his daughter in the bathroom at football games. Holy.
Going to my son's football games, having sex in the bathroom with boys. I mean, I probably told her more than that. Shit.
You look hurt.
That's the kind of daddy I am.
Skip to it. Okay. Yeah, he said some other stuff about it, but he was talking about like the baby moms. He also admits in a weird way that the mother of his daughter, him and his homeboy had a train with.
Mama let 19-year-old boy stay with a 14-year-old.
He's talking about the baby mama. By the way, that for anybody in high school in here, or anybody who just graduated high school or in college, the biggest smuts. Like anytime I talk to like a girl, you can find out how long they've been smutting. If they used to be fucking at football games, those are the biggest smuts. The biggest smuts fuck during football game and in stairwells. If they were doing those behaviors in high school, they're smut for life. They're usually gonna have multiple kids by early 20s, if not 20, and literally they're just a neighborhood cum rag. Let's be honest. Like there's certain type of behavior that because you saw women like that when you were in that situation, that you're hoping that your daughter ain't that person. So it breaks his heart. His daughter is that. Everybody knows in high school. One in the chat, if you know that one girl from your high school who was sucking at least 5 niggas off every football game under the bleachers. It's always that one chick, and I don't know, like usually it ain't even the bathroom, it's the bleachers. For some reason, the bleachers and sucking niggas off go together. You always hope that ain't your sister, and obviously as you get older, your daughter. Boosie, listen, no matter if Boosie's driving in an $800,000 car, he could have $1 million on his neck. He could have an estate that's worth tens of millions. He's done amazing things in his life. There's nothing that could ease that pain of knowing that your daughter is thotting in the streets, bro.
I probably said more than that shit. 15-year-old man stay with a 14, smokes weed with a 15-year-old daughter. They just mad right now because I said some truthful things about her mother. They mad. Everything I said was the truth.
Oh yeah, he said that shit about the train on the record, and I think he reiterated it like one of these things too.
Ask her. Tell her, ask her mama, did she do it?
Was he?
I told not one lie, not one. One thing I ain't gonna do is lie. I told not one lie. What I said her mama did, she did. Ask her. Tell her, ask her mama, did she do it?
Now, we also have to be in the space of accountability. Boosie is dead wrong for having a child with the woman you ran a train with. Like, Boosie, what did you think the possible outcome was? So let's not sit here, though. We're not going to sit here and just blame the child or saying the baby mama just want money. Boosie, if you're running a train on a woman with your partner, that ain't supposed to be the woman you impregnate. Because even if, okay, whatever, maybe you forgive that she was in a train with you and your homie, if she and her mentality is cool with trains being ran on her, that's indicative of how she views herself. How you think she's gonna raise your daughter? She's gonna raise your daughter like most women are gonna raise another woman to embody their morals or their life experiences, especially when they don't see nothing wrong with it. So Boosie, you picked this woman to be the mother of your child, right? Or at least maybe you slipped up. It could be slip up. Who knows? It probably a slip up, right? But still, you have to take that responsibility. That's probably the reason why your daughter is believing being sexualized as an early age or acting out, or just like how the baby mama was probably seeking validation by having a rapper and his homeboy fuck her at the same time, is the reason why your daughter is under the bleachers and in the bathroom at the football games trying to have the local like athlete fuck her or she's sucking him off at the same time. That's just what it is. We got to be honest. Somebody.
I mean, it's the truth. I mean, I don't think she knew about that.
So, okay, now we're talking about my high school experiences. Somebody says, "Yo, act, keep it a bean. You was under the bleachers. Be honest." I'm gonna keep it 100. I was the nigga in high school. You know, I ain't never lied to y'all. I was the nigga who was hating on them niggas that was under the bleachers because I never got invited. I was no fucking athlete. It was like the athletes and drug dealers that was getting their dick sucked under there. I wasn't one of those in high school. So the biggest whores who usually like I wanted to hit too, they never let me hit. They was sucking off the other niggas. I ain't gonna cap with you. You feel me? So yeah, after I heard their stories, but like, oh yeah, you know, so and so she sucked off 4 niggas. I was hating. Fuck them bitches. I was like, yeah, I was hating. I was like, damn. How come every time the bleacher story come around, I'm never to be found? I never got invited to the bleacher sessions. Chat, keep it a bean. Do not lie to me. Do not lie to me. Were you part of the bleacher crowd? Because everybody want to act like they were cool in high school. I wasn't really that cool in high school. Actually, I wasn't cool at all. I was just like this Jamaican kid that people like I really was. Like my high school didn't really accept me because like everybody grew up together and I came in like end of middle school type shit. And yeah, so by the time I'm in high school, like I get to hang out with like this Jamaican crowd, but it's not the popular crowd. So yeah, all them stories I was never a part of. You was a part the dugout crowd. Tenacious OB. Oh, you were one of the baseball. What the baseball players get it in too? Damon Harris says, "I never share." I ain't gonna lie. You either not black or you never went to public school. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Yo, for whatever reason, like again, maybe things has changed, but I'm speaking very honestly and candidly. And this is why I'm glad that we have our place, safe place we can speak. Back in high school, people made trains seem hella cool. Like it was kind of like I'm so I like obviously as a grown man, it seems disgusting, right? But like in high school, because it felt like you were part of the gang. Now, granted, I never did that, but the allure, like even hearing other people talk about it, like niggas wasn't on some I don't shit. Like niggas was definitely hyping up trains like it was popping. You get what I mean? Like yo, high school and middle school niggas is actually, at least when I was going to middle school, maybe I was just like learning American culture at that point because I didn't know. These days people fucking in middle school. Back when I don't think they were fucking in middle school. I don't know. I knew they were fucking in high school. People fucking in middle school, but trains and shit like that are popular in high school, bro. Like that should be seeming cool. Obviously, the older you get, like yo, could you imagine like being in a train and like you're 24? Like yo, like and bragging about it, like oh yeah, like this is good. Like no, nigga, you might do a train, but you ain't even gonna finna brag about it. In high school, there's mad stories are going around like yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the football players ran a train on her. Oh shit, this.
And she mad about her brother, man. You know, he playing spades with Tupac right now.
What? He said his baby mama's brother playing spades with Tupac. We love Pac.
And she mad about her brother, man. You know, he playing spades with Tupac right now.
Oh shit.
a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate involved. I was trying to get my daughter from that situation, man, you know.
That's crazy. Man.
Yo, Creole Boy, thank you for the resubscription. He says, yo, act. Most of them niggas who got head under the bleachers didn't graduate. That's a fact. Yo, I swear, cause y'all name one nigga who was getting like there was always that one nigga who you've never seen him go to class. Matter of fact, you don't even know if he even went to your school. But of course, he did one sport, so you kind of knew. You never seen him in class, but he was like good as hell at track or something like that. I'm thinking about one person at my school. Good as hell at track. He was fucking all the bitches. I've always said most of them niggas, their life peak at like 18. Like, nigga, high school is like their peak of their life. It's all downhill from that. It's all downhill. So yeah, you're right. Most of them niggas probably under the bleachers probably didn't graduate. You're right.
How you go from Alpharetta, Georgia, Catholic school, private school, making straight A's, to letting a 19-year-old live with a 14-year-old.
Wait, Boosie's daughter's 14 and she was getting dicked down by a 19-year-old? Yeah, I'd be tight too. What the fuck? Isn't that like statutory stuff?
I don't play about my daughters.
Like, even Adam 22 will tell you that's illegal.
I don't play about my daughter.
Sam Crow, what up, bro?
You lucky I ain't told her more than that. You doing shit at you giving away yourself in the bathroom at games, at my son's football game.
Damn.
I ain't going for it. I don't regret nothing I said.
His son playing tight end and his daughter in the bathroom playing wide receiver. Holy. Holy. His son on the field playing tight end. His daughter in the bathroom being a wide receiver. Holy.
Oh my God. Nah, you wildin'. Nah, you wildin'. Chill. No way.
My man is sad.
Talking about me. What kind of mama do that?
Now, let me skip to this other footage. So his daughter mentions, yo, like Boosie should have stayed on death row, and basically, like, I guess this guy who Boosie was accused of killing, that's why he was on death row. I guess the family of the baby mama must like know him a little bit or whatever. But this is what the daughter said.
I mean, not like he the only one that was on the death penalty. Should have stayed on there. That's how I'm feeling. And I don't take it back. That's what that is. Their life.
So she's wishing her father stayed on the death penalty or the death row or whatever.
A celebrity get in my head. Who? I ain't no yes man to nobody. And that's what y'all expect me to do, be a yes man to that nigga. What, cause he my daddy? Well, not even my daddy, cause he my sperm donor. Nigga don't even deserve this title. That's why he called sperm donor now. Like, what? I don't like all that. Then I gotta hear from about this on live. Talk about a celebrity get in my head. Who? You wanna talk about going to jail? You stuck of people that'll get it though. Let's talk about it. You a rat. You a rat. You a...
Boosie's in hip hop pointing out everybody else rats, and his own daughter is calling him a rat.
the people
Ew.
BRPD?
What the
Who
hell,
got-
dude?
Ooh, y'all love BRPD and BR. That's why I'm glad I don't stay down there no more. Anyway.
Okay. So Boosie ended up, which I don't know why he did this. He went on live and he talked about the person in question that was murdered in the case that he was locked up in. And this is how he describes the nigga. He basically says the nigga who got killed, that he was charged with killing the guy. He said, basically said that guy was a piece of shit. Listen to this shit.
5 different times. When he got shot the last time, that was his 6th time getting shot. So don't act like I was on trial for a good Samaritan. Let me run it again. He was a convicted child rapist.
What?
Convicted.
What?
He beat 5 murder charges.
5?
He was a known robber in the city. He beat his mama with a 2x4. He been shot 29 times on 6 different occasions.
Nah, this nigga gotta be Wolverine. Ain't no way a nigga gets shot 29 times on 6 occasions.
That's crazy.
You know the craziest part? Somebody in the comments says, nigga, 29 divided by 6 is 4.8 shots per shooting. This nigga must have been in the fucking Avenger. What the hell? How the hell a nigga been shot 29 times?
If anybody came to my trial, you would have saw his body up there with 29 marks in it. 29 times shot over on 6 different occasions. He beat 5 bodies. Let's talk about it. He's a convicted child rapist who was fucking her and her little sister Drika.
What?
I ain't snitching on nobody, he dead. I ain't snitching on nobody, he dead. He playing spades with Tupac right now. Now he playing spades with Tupac. He dead.
I've always thought that Tupac would be more like a dominoes type of nigga, maybe poker, not spades.
Let's keep it real, man. They act like I was on trial for a college student. Man, they act like I was on trial for a college student, man. This man was a convicted child rapist. Was fucking all his sisters.
Yo, niggas saying that nigga at a Juice WRLD concert right now. Like, yo, why Boosie still talking about me, man? I'm just trying to sing Lucid Dreams one more time. Like, why Boosie still talking about me like in the real world, man?
Beat 5 bodies.
Damn.
Now let's keep it real, man. Don't act like I was on trial for a college student. He got shot 29 times, 5 different occasions. He was a black cat. He was a black cat.
Ridiculous. Crazy. Anyway, a couple more things. We're done with the Boosie stuff. Appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Yo, have you heard the new Drake snippet? So Drake's getting ready to drop For the Dogs. Everybody's ready. First of all, I gotta say, man, Drake moving like the emperor out here in Canada, as he should. He basically told people he controls the border. He went to Vancouver, didn't have the show the first night, so they delayed it one night. The stadium took responsibility. Like, oh, it's not his fault, it's our fault. So he stayed in his hotel, probably kicking it, working on his music, I'm guessing. And he made some demands of a local cafe because he wanted some peach bellinis. And this is how I call him now the Emperor of Canada. This is how he did it, and this is what happened afterwards. Here we go.
Yo, Cactus Club. I'm not gonna lie, I came over by you the other day, and it didn't go exactly as I wanted it to. I had a lot of. I was really excited to come over there. You know, obviously, the fans were showing a lot of love and couldn't really figure out a table for myself over there, but I'm gonna let you know right now. You know, we've been through a lot together. You got 30 minutes. 30 minutes to send 4 of them peach leans over to my hotel room right now. Them leanies. Them Lena Marie's. Them Lena Turners. Peach Lenioski. You know what I need? Dressed up with the red. With the red on the top. And make sure they're frozen too. Don't come with the half melted or put it in a plastic container. I have faith in you. You're gonna figure this out. It's my last show in Vancouver. Like, I need the juice up. Like my brother Train would say. Like, I need the juice up. Yo, Cactus Club.
Okay. Promptly, like 10 minutes later, they send over a baddie, a pog. You know the pog is, right? Fat ass white girl. Oh my god. With 4 of them peach Bellinis for Drizzy, and I'm guessing his company or whatever. And he basically says, "Yo, frozen and golden, right on time, whatever. Yeah, Drake with it. You know what I mean? Doing his thing. Anyway, he dropped. There's a new snippet that's out, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I like when Drake talks like he's a serial killer. I like when Drake talks like he's the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a long cry from when y'all thought Drake. Remember when niggas used to say Drake was soft? Like, Drake might got a body under his belt, low. Like, Drake one of them guys. Like, we all know this, right? Anyway, this is how Drake is speaking on his new record. Check this one out. Now, if you don't hear what he said, "Trust me, there's a ton of them. I should probably be in there with Doug in them." Obviously, we're gonna assume being there probably means in jail with Doug in them. So you know, Drake is moving devious these days. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's King Slime, Drizzy Drake. You know what I mean? Going crazy with it. So I gotta be honest with y'all, man. Like, I believe it. Now, granted, he obviously sends mixed messages because on another song, he's like, what's the song I listen to? He's like, oh, I've never committed a crime, but my brothers can't say that. But regardless, man, my boss, King Slime, Drizzy Drake, doing his thing. And, yeah, I can't wait for 4 Dogs. If it sounded like this, let's see if we can hear a little bit more of the beat. Yeah, this is the hit already. Any beat that's riding like this is going to be a club banger. Facts. Yo, check out the comments, yo. Y'all be funny as hell in the comments. Nigga said Drake gonna be the first rapper to indict himself on an imaginary RICO. Yo, I don't know why y'all think Drake not like that. Drake, from what I've heard, Drake is exactly like that. One of the mandem, you know what I mean? Like, really one of the, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, niggas don't play with Drizzy Drake. That's real talk. You know what I mean? Like, it's a far cry from the grass and all that. I heard Drake, nigga, put in some work. I'm gonna just keep it short. I'm gonna be, you know what's funny? I kind of look at Drake like a street nigga. Like, he's like half street nigga, half real nigga. Like, you know what I mean? He's a man, he stand on principles, but like, yo, he'll spin. I knew Drake was a street nigga when he made Right Foot Up, Left Foot Slide, and the whole song was about him spinning blocks. I was like, damn, Drake the guy. Plus, I think the Wassas like gave him the game plan. Wait, I consider Drake like a street nigga. I consider Drake a street nigga. All right, okay. All right, maybe not. Okay. I'm not gassing too. I accept street talk from Drake. Let's be honest. Don't when Drake talks street, like, put like this. Let's say Lil Tecca. Okay, I don't use Lil Tecca as like a beaten stick or like just like make fun of. There's certain rappers that if they talk about some shit, you would just fucking laugh. When Drake talks tough these days, we let it fly. Right? Let's be honest. Whether him talking about, yo, I'm tied up like mob ties. Yeah, like, bro, we let tough talk by Drake fly. Right? That's fair. I'm not saying he's a street nigga, even though that's kind of, you know, symbolic, or I don't know. That's not a word. That's symbolic of being a street nigga. But we let Drake talk tough on the records, and we like it. let's be honest. We let Drake, don't say niggas laugh at him, Blazing Chula style, because niggas bump the songs where he's talking crazy. Niggas bump the songs and sing it confidently where he's talking crazy because we again, we accept it at this point. Drake's the only person who started off R&B type, feelings type rapper. And now, if he says, yo, I get your block knocked off, we would, we're not saying we're believing it, but it's like, yeah, we're going to let it rock. We're not going to call it out type shit. Drake talks crazy on every record these days. Jimmy Cook's lyrics. Let's look up the lyrics on this shit. You can find some tough talk by Drake in everything, man. All right, nah, he not talking crazy on this. What's the last song Drake was talking crazy on? Name the last song. Let me look up the lyrics. Mob Ties, he was talking crazy. Oh, Meltdown. Oh, yeah. Put like this. Meltdown should be reserved for a nigga who's in the streets. That's what I'm trying to say. Bro, we pretty much just got to call Drake a street nigga, at times. He's like a part-time street nigga. Tea time like I got a cup of it. First of all, the voice he did alone, you could tell that Drake was trying to, he probably rapped that shit with a ski mask on. Tea time like I got a cup of this shit. Tea time like a golf at 5:45. I love to fuck on a regular bitch. Famous hoes lame, but they stay on my dick. Heard you in New York, but it's embarrassing shit. You talk to the cops or some therapist shit. You act like you love this American shit, but really the truth, you scared of the 6. Yeah, you scared of the 6. Yeah, you scared of the 6. Your bodyguard put in some work on the fluke, but now you want to go and inherit this shit. Don't talk.
Hello, we're back with another episode of Before You Buy. That show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. It's me, Jake Baldino, and today we're talking Starfield. This is a big one to tackle. It's a game that's been in the works for many, many years from a game development studio many people love and some people have been turned off by in recent years. It's a completely new thing from them. It's not an Elder Scrolls or a Fallout sequel. It's an ambitious space exploration game with its own new worlds and lore. So after playing a review copy and spending many hours with this game, personal opinion up front here, I like Starfield. I don't know if I love it. It has a lot of flaws, and in some places doesn't quite hit the heights I was hoping it would, but real simply put, I've enjoyed my time in this game world. If you were hoping Bethesda would make an epic game that would feel nothing like what they've done in the past and be completely glitch-free and change the world, well, then you might be a bit disappointed. But if you're the type of player that was just looking for the next Skyrim, the next Fallout, and just like embracing the Bethesda gameplay and vibe like a warm blanket, then I think you'll be satisfied. Starfield is a complicated one to talk about, and I do think everyone's gonna argue about it. It's gonna be a divisive one. On the surface, it doesn't look very nice, it has weird NPCs, it does have bugs, and the space exploration isn't as endless and as cool as some were hoping. Like I said, it's flawed, but it's an entertaining Bethesda-style game with some charm, some great factions, beautiful music, deep side quests, weird stuff to discover, and some cool lore. It took a while, but for me, the good outweighed the bad. For you, I don't know. That's the point of this video. We're gonna try and work on that. Let me explain why and break down all the stuff you can expect in the game. And just so you know, this video you see here is as spoiler-free as we could possibly do. You know, in the 100 hours or more you could spend in this game, we tried to keep most of the footage on screen here to within the first few hours, just because there is a lot of good surprises and I think stuff worth seeing yourself for the first time. And this footage is captured on both Xbox Series X NPC. You'll be able to tell by the frame rate. We'll talk about that all later. So in the game, you start out, you create your character, you pick some defining backstory and traits, and get going. You're a miner on some remote mining planet, and you stumble upon something that quickly gets you whisked away, conscripted into a group called Constellation. They're like a group of space explorers, where in this world, the humans are all over the galaxy and all over planets and just kind of doing the things humans do in the future. Constellation is a small group still just focused on exploration and the vast mysteries of space. And there's a good main quest here with some good characters. Sure, they look a little awkward, but there's some good voice acting from some of the main companions, and dealing with their personality quirks and life differences is fun. Some of them, especially early on, like Sam Coe, have some good charm to them. Spend some time with them. While characters may look generic on the surface, some of them might surprise you. But the actual main quest itself is interesting. Like I said, while your character is not voiced, you still seem to have some agency and choice in how things go down. And there's a good mystery to unravel that, again, I won't spoil. For me, personally, I actually just wasn't into the game for the first few hours, though. It takes a while to get its hooks into you. The opening mission is a bit bland, you don't really get that wow moment, and the first city you visit, while being really big and grand, felt a bit boring and weirdly dull. But as you work your way through the main quest line, which I suggest trying to focus on a bit, at least up until you get to the city of Neon, that's when the game really unfolds and you're more powerful, you've got a good ship, you're with a faction or so, and learn more about these worlds, and you're just kind of going nuts. And one of the main things of the game, like, there's a lot of combat. As much as you are an explorer and you can talk your way out of some things, you're still gonna end up killing a lot of dudes. And thankfully, the shooting feels pretty good. Depending on your stats, sometimes enemies will be a little bullet spongy, but not as bad as you'd think. Guns are loud and punchy and aggressive, and the feedback when bullets or lasers hit enemies gives you a nice proper like thwack. Melee is meh, but you can embrace some stealth. It gets a bit stronger as you level it up, and I never found myself completely 100% stealthing a location. Things would always tend to fall apart for me, but it does seem to be a semi-viable playstyle as long as you're adaptable. It's not overly RPG from numbers and stats and points and magic, more from the gameplay approaches, which I'll get to. But skill tree-wise, it's kept fairly simple as well, with you spending points in one of a few categories to access some benefits, and each of those have their own multiple tiers or levels that you can dump more points into to get more out of it. So to unlock the next tier, it's not about just dumping a point though. You need to complete like little objectives or like a checkbox challenge first. So like instead of Morrowind and Oblivion just jumping a ton of times to get better stamina, now you actually have like a checklist, like say shoot 20 bad guys to get better at pistols, or carry 75% of your carrying weight for X amount of miles to get an available upgrade to upgrade your encumbrance, which holy crap, the game is pretty ruthless with that, or maybe I'm just a hoarder. But these little objectives do get a little bit more complicated once you get further down the tree. I don't know if it was like necessarily needed, but that to me is a minor nitpick. Otherwise it works and I like it. Back to combat though, what sold it for me was the weapon variety. There's a good amount, all with their own use cases and manufacturers, from kind of standard to super futuristic, and even some surprises. There's a lot of good satisfying choices. Then they also bring over the weapon mod crafting system from Fallout 4 with some tweaks, which I thought was a great system there and also very cool here. It makes for a pretty staggering amount of options and things to hunt for and craft and work towards. And you're getting weapons, spacesuits, out of space clothing, and lots of resources for your journey. And yeah, you can like sneak into someone's apartment or a shop and steal stuff just like any other Bethesda game, but you're usually getting the best stuff by exploring. And exploring is complicated. Unfortunately, it's a bit too weird for my liking. Too many hang-ups. There are a lot of cool planets and big cities and some towns. There are also a bunch of randomly generated planets. Now, Bethesda was upfront about this. They set expectations about how they were randomly generated and how it works, but I still just, it doesn't feel quite right. So exploration itself is a lot of loading screens and menus. You can look at a big map warp to a new sector and float around and look at a planet, maybe talk to another pedestrian ship, do a few things. Then you look at the planet with your scanner, and then you can see everywhere you can really land, or really what the planet has to offer. Then you click on that, and then a loading screen, and then you're landed. Then you have to click leave ship when you're landed, and then it loads you out there briefly. You don't just hop off. So do you see, there's like a lot of barriers. The presentation, the boringness of just clicking around on a map or a scanner, all really hurts the experience. It's not as smart as it comes off initially. You know, presenting you with fuel consumption and a bunch of numbers to seem science-y. You're really just clicking on stuff, and it's a bummer. Same goes for actually scanning stuff on the planet's surface. Not the greatest thing from a fun standpoint, but yeah, speaking of planet surfaces, from that whole planet to landing sequence I mentioned, once you're out there, if you're on a randomly generated planet, you roam around what is typically a pretty ugly biome, slowly sprinting and running out of stamina, jet boosting around and checking out abandoned factories or caves that typically have a door to click on and load into what is like a typical Bethesda dungeon. And from there, you can usually blast your way through and get some decent loot. It doesn't always amount to too much, and it doesn't usually have anything complex, but it does mean it feels like you can kind of endlessly space dungeon run. It may not be of the highest quality, and you may see some stuff repeat. Every so often, I found myself landing on a planet and seeing something cool and walking towards it and finding something totally weird. But most of the time, to me, it felt a little dull, and I preferred focusing on like the towns and the quests and activities, because the more you get into those, the better it gets. And holy shit, they give you a lot. Like from expeditions where you're just looking for stuff, to getting into some messes with the faction quests and their own individual activities within, to random long-running quests you'll get from like a shop or some guy, to job postings. There's a staggering amount of stuff to do in this game. Oh, and even piracy, which does remind me I should mention the ship stuff. So when you're in orbit, you can engage with other ships, like chat with them or get into combat. Combat is fairly simple, but pretty good. It gets the job done. You can actually kind of do VATS from Fallout, like get a good lock on the ship and it zooms into them in slow motion, and then you can choose to target, say, their shield generator first, and then go for their engines with a different weapon, something like that. How capable your ship actually is, though, depends on how you build it, and then you can cycle power to engines to speed up, maybe disperse a bit of power to weapons to have more power behind them, or put it all towards your grav drive so that you can, like, light speed warp jump out of there quicker. The flying around isn't super complicated. Again, like, you're just in kind of a big space arena separated by loading screens, which sucks, but hey, it's fun to blow up other ships. Still, for me, I gotta emphasize the bigger thrills were on the ground. I had a lot of fun tackling missions and quests in different ways and stumbling through and making dumb choices and seeing the game react. Like, sometimes I felt really slick and smooth. Other times, the complete opposite of what I expected to happen happened, and sometimes I just went rash and went in guns blazing, and all of it was entertaining and sometimes surprisingly hilarious. Now, speaking of hilarious, I guess it's worth mentioning the buggy nature of the game. No, Starfield is not immune from the typical Bethesda stuff you've seen in their other games. I mean, it feels like a Bethesda game you've seen before, from gameplay to just like the feel, the vibe of it all. But that also boils down to weird, silly, buggy things that'll happen in the game. Like, I'll walk into my ship and see a crewmate hovering 2 feet above the ground, or clipping through a kitchen table. Now, during a conversation with an NPC, another character will walk into frame and the camera will wig out as they clip through them and do something funny. People will disappear in a blink. Like, if you've seen it in a previous game of theirs, you might see it here. Now, you might not see it as much, like as often, but that goofiness is still there. Does it break the game? No. Haven't really had any catastrophic issues other than getting stuck on a chair and having to reload my save. But it can break immersion a bit. It's not a disaster, but you'll see some weird stuff occasionally. It's worth, some people are more sensitive to this stuff, so it's always worth bringing up. All that stuff does, however, contribute to making the game feel a bit old in spots. Some towns are like rich with detail and have a surprisingly dense amount of NPCs on screen, but other areas like the planet terrain or even some sections of, say, New Atlantis just look flat and drab and weird, especially at a lot of times of day. And that's on PC and Xbox versions of the game. It's just not the cleanest or newest looking game, and it's a shame considering the massive scope of everything. The town density, like I said, is great oftentimes, and when you're in space, the planets and the effects and the asteroids look pretty great. Or say if you're on a moon looking up at like Saturn and it's casting a light, that stuff is awesome, but the rest of it really leaves a lot to be desired. And as you probably know, frame rate is 30 frames per second on console, and in our experience, for the most part, it was a very solid 30. On the PC side, of course, everybody's machine is different, and who knows how it'll be at launch. We've already had some patches and some updates and stuff like that, but we haven't had many issues after messing around with some of the settings. You know, not the biggest amount of options there, but we've been able to play it fine on our end. Now, switching back to another positive note, I did allude to all the stuff the game lets you do, like weapon mod crafting, but also researching to make special crafting components, as well as cooking recipes, suit mods, which acts kind of like the weapon mod system. You can also build outposts on planets, kind of like Fallout, and set that up to generate resources. And yeah, it can all be a lot, but the best thing I found myself spending time and money on was the ship building. To me, it absolutely delivers. Building is easy to grasp and fun to slowly get more and more crazy with it. You know, parts snap together. The game very clearly and intelligently shows you what can and cannot work, and you're doing it all in real time. There's a lot of options too, like small ships, space trucks for hauling, a bigger battleship, and I just loved adding onto my ship and then seeing it on the landing pad in real time and going, whoa, and then going in the ship and seeing how the interior changed. Like, it's all satisfying and addictive. I got hooked on this like I did building settlements in Fallout 4, and it just improved the whole experience. Even if I was dissatisfied with a lot of the space exploration, seeing the ship I made in action, landing on planets, docked at a city, was cool as hell. And I found myself saving up for a new engine or a new type of weapon to mount on it all the time. These were the main points we wanted to hit today, really. There's a lot of game here, and despite spending a lot of time with it, we haven't seen every inch of it. There's both stuff we couldn't spoil here, and also just a lot of secrets to uncover, stuff that we haven't even come across yet. Starfield is a flawed game with some aspects that just don't quite reach the heights they should, but it has plenty of merits, and the more time you put into it, the more it shows you its, flavors. We're probably going to be talking about this one for a while. It is a Bethesda game I was expecting, really, even more so than I thought. If you like Bethesda games, even with this one's significant shortcomings, you might like this one. Now, it didn't do everything I wanted it to do, but I like the characters, the world, the civilizations, cool science and guns and ships. And as much as I have my complaints, I'm looking forward to continue playing it, and I pretty much recommend it. Obviously, depending on the type of player you are and your expectations for this game. Hopefully I laid it out enough for you so you get where I'm coming from. This is a before you buy. You know how this goes by now, right? I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours. What do you think about Starfield? Just let us know. Are you someone who's jumping into that early access where you pay more for the game? Are you waiting for it to come to Game Pass? And also let us know if you're planning to play on PC or Steam. Are you going to be making mods for the game? Are you just skipping the game? Whoever you are, let's talk Starfield down in the comments. There's a lot to talk about with this one, and like I said, stuff we can't spoil and stuff we haven't even found yet. So let us know in the comments. Try and keep it spoiler free, but if this video helped you out at all, informed you, maybe just seeing the gameplay was nice, anything like that, clicking the like button helps us. Thank you. But I always make it a point to say this with the big before you buy videos. Thank you for watching. If you've been sticking with us for so long, I put out the first before you buy video 8 years ago at this point with Batman Arkham Knight, and we're still here today, just kind of yapping about games. So thank you. You guys know where to find me on social media, but if you're new to Game Ranks, be sure to click, follow, do all the YouTube stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Gear looks green. Ready to land.
Game announcements are built around hype and making games look good. And generally, I'm willing to take that with good faith. But what happens when something that looks really good turns out not to be? Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 games with the most wasted potential, part 2. Now, if you're interested, we did a part 1 to this. It's got Red Dead Online, Anthem, Watch Dogs Legion. We talked about Spore, Mass Effect Andromeda, Epic Mickey, which holy hell, talk about the mouse dropping the ball. We talked about Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2, and we even talked about one that's, kind of a favorite around these parts. Jake loves The Order 1886. I also do. But it's definitely not a game that lived up to what it could have been. And that's kind of really the point. Whether the game's good or bad isn't necessarily what we're talking about here. It's if the game isn't as good as it could have been. And that often means bad. Keeping that in mind, starting off with number 10, we're going to talk about Redfall. So by any metric at all, Redfall should have been good. It's from Arcane, the guys behind Deathloop and Prey, both good games. But oh yeah, remember Dishonored? Not just a good game, but a frickin' iconic franchise. It established that Arcane way of doing things. And Redfall was Arcane's first game after their publisher and owner Bethesda was acquired by Microsoft, so you'd think it'd be in everyone's interest to make a good game. That's not Redfall, though. It's, at its best, mediocre, which is frankly shocking coming from Arcane. The potential was there. A vampire hunting open world immersive sim. In a just world, this would basically mean a longer, bigger, more immersive and interconnected Prey, but the whole thing's watered down into an online-only games as a service slog. Instead of a game that plays to the developer's strengths, the final version is just a showcase of all of their weaknesses. Poor performance, mediocre gunplay, enemy AI drag this game way down, most of the immersive sim elements gutted. The game just feels empty, barren, and even in terms of art direction, is cool as
labels used to buy albums. So there's times that they'll be like, yo, we're going to buy 100,000 copies. Yes. If anything, it was easier to do then, but it was more noticeable because the labels would just they would literally make these purchase orders or do it. There's a couple companies that were doing it that they could buy their own records. So it's always existed. Now, I don't know the movie game as much, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, say the Avengers drop a movie, I'm pretty sure they're not like, oh, let's buy out the movie tickets, right? I don't think they're doing that, but they probably have their own finesse too. But in the music game, because music lasts in perpetuity and also part of marketing, is usually the best marketing with music is word of mouth or people feeling like, you know what I mean? Yo, if everybody likes Sexy Red Ski Wee or whatever the fuck that bullshit is, you're more inclined to like it. If no one liked it, you probably wouldn't like it either. Like, again, I'll keep telling y'all, most people ain't independent thinkers. The music industry has figured this out from a long time ago. They keep doing it, and now here's the thing. So let's go back. To now about this merch thing. Yes, Russ, you're right. I don't think it's gonna change though. Yes, they have a monopolistic merch bundle situation. We've seen what happened with Travis. It's no fucking secret, or there's no coincidence that the rules for Billboard change right before Travis drops an album. No, they are in cahoots. Travis Scott is a priority at these record labels that, like, I remember when 6ix9ine got fucked by Billboard. First of all, Billboard, because it publishes, I don't know if they still do, they publish an actual physical copy of the magazine. When they put out that chart, the chart is printed. So if I said you're number one, I look stupid if I come back later and be like, oh, you weren't number one, this was the number one, especially you're putting in print. So they don't like to make changes to the charts. That's why at times they rather delay the chart. Now here's the thing. 6ix9ine's label had to stand up for him, but obviously 6ix9ine is not the proper candidate. And by the way, back then he was also going against who? Travis Scott. Essentially, they wouldn't like. And by the way, I seen the emails back and forth. Like I literally, that's one thing I do like about 6ix9ine. He's so open, and also even his label, they're very open about shit. I seen the emails go back and forth between the label and Billboard, where the nigga at Billboard is explaining why he got cheated out of a #1 record. And it was like, there's a lot of shit. They were doing midweek audits. A lot of shit was going on. Here's the point. The label didn't fucking stand on it to force Billboard to possibly do the right thing. Now, maybe he was #2, or maybe he was #1. But they basically folded. The thing with a nigga like Travis, Travis is such a behemoth, and also part of Travis's allure is all of this shit that comes with the brand. It's more than music. All the bundles, the this, that, and third. It makes the brand of Travis look so big. Yes, they probably approach Billboard and says, hey, listen, this is how we're going to put out this project. We need these rules fucking altered, or you're going to make a special amends for Travis Scott. They made it. Travis Scott sold 500,000. That's how it works. When you're Travis Scott, you could change it. Now, granted, if you're YB in the mirror, Billboard's not even going to respond to the email. Like, fuck out of here. But, like, Drake and Taylor Swift could do it. By the way, actually, I won't say Taylor necessarily has changed. Actually, she has, though. Look at how Taylor releases music now. Taylor is the reason why every rap or every hip-hop artist is now changing their philosophy on going back to physical sales. Everybody after around like 2014 was like, fuck physicals. We're only doing digital. So you never see a CD in a store. By the way, stores are shutting down all the place. But they weren't that caring on trying to give a physical product that people could buy. Because #1, the time to press those things up require weeks, if not months, before the album comes out. In hip-hop, that was the source of every album being leaked. Do y'all remember back in the day, albums being leaked like 2 months before it came out? You know why? Because the fucking file or the folder would hit the manufacturer. They would get to realize, yo, we have 800,000 orders of, we got to press this up. And somebody at that plant, you know what I mean? They probably knew they were going to lose their job. It's supposed to be a secure system. But they say, fuck, this is an album that I could fucking get and sell on the dark web. And they sneak that shit out of the fucking factory. So now the album is leaked, right? That's how it was mostly leaked back then. So you know what rappers did? That's why shit really don't leak, other than Trippie Redd. I don't know how his shit get leaked all the time. His engineers must not give a fuck about him. So that's how shit was getting leaked a lot. Then all the artists, especially with the surprise drop also helped kill the digital shit, the physical shit, because at first when niggas was doing surprise drops, it was like, oh, the physicals are gonna come in 3rd week or some shit like that, right? Like it's gonna be always gonna be behind. Then people just start saying, fuck physicals. Like, we're not putting no CDs out. Also, technology changed. Do you have a CD player in your car? Maybe you do. Actually, most cars still do have it. They just hide it these days. I think I have one in my 2023 car, but it's like in the glove box. Like, you gotta go in the glove box and some weird shit. But anyway, people just abandoned that, like, selling actual media that, or an actual product that the media could be on, which is the music. What Taylor Swift has done, because Taylor Swift is now selling 2 million records first week and making the rappers look a little bit irrelevant, right? Like, think about Taylor's 3rd week almost beat Drake first week with Her Loss. Like, that's how big Taylor Swift is. Actually, Taylor's 4th week, I think her 3rd week did. Taylor's just, you know how Taylor's doing this? Yes, Taylor has an amazing fan base and it's huge, but Taylor Swift is doing and bringing it back to the essence of what the music business is, which is selling product. Taylor Swift puts out 12 vinyls with 12 different colors, and each one of them she has little nicknames for, and she's like, yo, if you want to get this version, it might have one song different, but this is this mood. Like, she's made it an experience where her fan says, I want that fucking vinyl. By the way, you know who benefited from the vinyl stuff recently too, or who has? Usually mostly like backpack rappers, or like Kendrick broke the record recently for rap, where he sold a lot of vinyls. Like a nigga like Kendrick Cole's gonna do it. I think Drake now is gonna finally get into it, because here's the thing. Drake will never in his life again touch 1 million records sold until he gets back to that philosophy. Yes, Drake is insanely popular. His popularity hasn't decreased. People still love his music. We can't wait for Fun of Dogs. But we're going to see Drake in the range, if you ask me, of 300 to 500. We're not going to see more than that. Unless he stops putting out music for like a good 2 years and the anticipation goes so crazy. But Drake is on a hectic release schedule because he's trying to finish that motherfucking contract, get his 600 mil, and probably get another 600 mil or maybe a Billy, because he's just fucking printing money. So remember when Drake highest album sales, right? Like I think I posted this. Drake highest first weeks was when he let anticipation build. Think about how many projects Drake has dropped in the last like 2 calendar years. He's dropped Her Loss, Certified Lover Boy. Honestly, never mind. Like, yo, he's dropped mad music, right? Usually that was not the case with Drake back in the day. Let me see if I can find. I did post his like the list of here we go. Okay, yeah, here we go. First week sales, right? It like, by the way, if you look at the last 3, with the exception of, we gotta look at the dates. The dates ain't on here, but Certified Lover Boy, if you ask me, anytime Drake waits 2 years plus to drop new music, his sales are gonna balloon back up because anticipation is crazy. Like, everybody just loves Drake's music. After Scorpion that came out in 2018, he waited 3 years and dropped Certified Lover Boy in 2021, the end of 2021. That's why he did 600 and some thousand. If Drake releases all the time, he's not doing over 500,000 all the time. I'm sorry to tell y'all, and some of y'all might be like, oh my God, he is the most popular. But if you look at all these projects, obviously have to thank me later, he goes on a crazy feature run. Does Take Care. The feature run is still continuing. Then he drops Nothing Was the Same, which is like, yo, 600,000 twice, crazy. Then he was so hot. Remember, this is 2013. He's so hot that he drops a fucking mixtape. He announces a week out. This is probably one of the hot, like, you realize If You're Reading This Too Late was pretty much released like Dark Lane demo tape, but he was so hot, the shit sold 535. Now you might be like, oh, well, that's a product of the music, but mostly, I keep telling y'all, first week sales usually are indicative, I want to say about 70 to 30%, like 70% of anticipation going in, 30% of how actually good the music is. So, like, for example, Lil Baby. Now everybody calling his album mid, but he still sold over 200K. You know why he sold over 200K? It wasn't because the music was lit. It's because it's the anticipation after coming off of My Turn was so crazy, it was gonna sell well, right? So the nigga was so popping, drops this. This is what year this is? This is 2014, probably 2014. Yo, he's so lit that he then shortly even afterwards drops What a Time to Be Alive, right? Which was kind of bunched in with Future's own albums, and you know, this was kind of still coming off the heels of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. But remember, he dropped quote unquote 2 mixtapes. Like, this was when people were still trying to allocate and call mixtapes. So remember, his last album was Nothing Was the Same. Then everyone's like, yo, he's so hot right now. His next album, he's gonna give us Take Care Part 2. That's what Views was supposed to be. Most anticipated album, if you ask me, other than Carter 3 of all time. You tell me another album that's been more anticipated than Views, I would say Carter 3. Both sold 1 million. Again, my formula is sales is going to most likely be 70% anticipation. That's what's going to make it up. And then 30% of how good that music is. Drake breaks 1 milli. And yeah, you know, whether you liked it, whether you thought it was a classic, it didn't matter. The first week sales already done. Then he drops More Life, which I think is 2017. So this is 2016 Views, right? Then he drops More Life 2017, right? But that's supposed to be he calls it a playlist. But he's still continuing this wave of being fire. Remember 2015, 2016, he's jumping on all type of features. He's on Fetty Wap shit. He's going crazy still. Then we hear about another album, which is Scorpion. He beats with Pusha T, the Kanye stuff, does 700K. But remember, this was a double disc. Remember, this I believe Scorpion may have had more songs than Views. Double disc. He does 732. By the way, here's the thing too. After Views, remember, Views had physicals, not the same week, but they had physicals like 2 weeks after. After Views, he never puts out physicals again. Like, I'm pretty sure some physicals get printed, but it's never like a main part of his rollout to sell records. So Scorpion, no physicals, and then after that's really no physicals again. So this is just my synopsis. If Drake wastes a year or two, not 2 years, he could sell upwards of 500,000, 600 to 700 range, just like Certified Lover Boy did, just like Scorpion did. If he does this pace where he's dropping every other quarter, I see him in the 400,000 range. You get what I mean? Still great, still more than everybody in the game, but 400, maybe even 300. Like, you know, for the Dogs, I think I'll give you a prediction right now. I think For the Dogs is gonna do For the Dogs. I think it's gonna do 475, 450. Okay, but the era of Drake selling a milli is completely done unless Drake gets back into doing physical copies and a proper rollout. So back to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has now forced the rap community to now embrace product because she sold 2 fucking million. So now, from what I'm hearing, there's a new, like, you know, not mandate, but there's a new focus for the top artists that they're going to be dropping vinyls simultaneously. Here's the thing. Apparently with vinyls, rappers didn't, I said this before, rappers didn't like doing it because just like how the CD process was, Drake turns in his album, like this actually is the fact, Her Loss was turned in probably like 6 days before it got released. If we're pressing up vinyls, you can't turn it in 6 days. We actually probably want it 2-3 months before. So again, you know, rappers are starting to do that, but like, you know, like I don't know if niggas like Drake is gonna do that because even right now he say he's still working on the album, which clearly it's not gonna be like vinyls and nothing like that. But if you think about someone like Kendrick releases, when he releases an album, it's like a fucking like event. He doesn't do it too often. That's why I believe Kendrick's next album, he's gonna. What did Kendrick do last time? Did Kendrick sell over 500K? Kendrick Lamar Morals or whatever. First week. He ain't had no big single. Wait, Kendrick only did 295? So I don't know, whatever. Okay. Well, I got Drake doing 475. 475, 450. Get me? Alright. Alright. Enough Drake time. Alright? Enough Drake time, brother. Yeah, more topics. Let's get to it. How y'all doing? Give me 1 second. Oh shit. Let me post this shit real quick. I don't know if y'all seen this. Not the story. Actually, I'll put it on the story. Okay. Have y'all seen this? I seen somebody just type in Gunna's name. So Gunna gets spotted in Beverly Hills. This is Gunna right here and Kevin Lyles. Kevin Lyles, if you don't know, is the CEO of 300 Records. He's the one who was in court advocating for the release of Young Thug. He runs the record that YSL Records is, you know, still in contractual obligation to. And here's the reality of it, okay? Them niggas from Cleveland Ave could be mad at Gunna all they want. Kevin Lyles, who was in court saying oh, Jeffrey is such a great guy. I love him like a son. Listen, at the end of the day, it's all business. You know who Jeffrey hates right now while he's in a cell every fucking day of his life getting hauled back and forth to court? Jeffrey hates Gunna, okay? You know who doesn't hate Gunna? Kevin Lyles. Gunna's making the bread over there. The nigga locked up can't help you right now, man. The guy right now on 300 Records is Young Gunna Wanna, and that CEO don't give a fuck about snitching. Who cares about snitching when you get paid? You get what I mean? And by the way, that's how it should be, bro. Like, these guys are record executives. You know, I know everybody think this is Cleveland Avenue politics all through and out. No. This motherfucking CEO is very happy that Gunna is doing his thing. Now, here's the thing and this is a rumor I heard. I had heard this rumor that Gunna, you know, it was supposed to, like, before he had put out music, he was looking at possible alternatives of getting off YSL. Why? Even though Gunna, like, Gunna's a slick nigga. He's acting publicly like he don't know Young Thug don't fuck with him. Like, he's acting like he don't know like, you know when a nigga's acting to the public like he don't know y'all ain't cool? That's what Gunna's doing. Gunna keeps posting pictures of him and Young Thug. Nigga, you ain't hear that fucking voice recording of Young Thug call you a fuck nigga and how he wants you to fail? Like, you know he don't fuck with you, but Gunna is just not gonna say nothing, right? At first, Gunna was looking into options, and I don't know how far the conversations went, but looking into options of possibly getting off 300 records. Well, not 300 records, but YSL. From what I hear, you know, that would take some type of agreement on the part of Young Thug, and there was just a standstill on it. So, you know, I think they came to an agreement that that Gunna could put out music, because what happens if Gunna's putting out a song, even if Young Thug don't like him, technically Young Thug's label, YSL Records, has to approve it, and then the parent label, 300, has to distribute it. So Thug could essentially block all Gunna's music. Obviously, if it gets to that point, it's going to be some Megan Thee Stallion shit. They're going to be in court. But, shit, you know what I mean? It's, at the end of the day, no matter, even if they think he's a snitch or disloyal, it's business. So YSL Records, the company, it's in their responsibility to put out his music. So they're not blocking his music, but trust me, they're not fucking with that nigga. However, who's definitely fucking with him is the nigga he's lining their pockets, which is Kevin Lyles. And shit, I see nothing wrong with this. Kevin Lyles, do your thing. And I think people should learn a very important thing about, you know, calling your record label your gang, or calling your record, or thinking that because someone is saying something that is in business, that has a business advantage to them, it don't mean that they're supposed to be loyal to you, right? My man Gunna went from saying YSL the gang to YSL the label. He don't give a fuck. The checks are still getting cut, so who cares? So salute to Gunna. I'm interested to see how everything turns out. I know some of y'all believe I'm hating on him. I'm definitely not hating on him. I like Gunna. I don't really care like that. I am making a prediction, though. I do think that just because every rapper that's supposedly street, especially from Atlanta, that I've talked to, they're all vehemently like, yo, we fuck with Slime, and they ain't fucking with Gunna. Like, I've not
get
heard
off the
one of
couch.
them. You know what I mean? They might not say it publicly, but that's the sentiment when I've had any conversation with them. And here is what they also say. They're like, yo, listen, the way how Atlanta works and the way how, like, that ecosystem, even though I think, you know, Gunna's living in LA now. He's not living in Atlanta. The way how that ecosystem works, they don't believe someone like Gunna survives if the streets or street rappers don't fuck with him. So we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, I do think it's gonna hurt his career a little bit, but will he be like fucking like homeless with a cup begging? No, he'll always be fine. He's a talented musician, but will he ever get back to the heights of, you know, DS Forever? I probably would say no, unless Thug, you know, grants him immunity from snitching. DC producer said, I can see the Grammy Academy giving him one to upset the industry. I'd be surprised if Gunna got that, just because, not saying he can't, So the way how the Grammy works, if we're supposed to go by the rules of the Grammys, is that the Grammys they have rounds, right? And then they have collections of people who vote on the rounds, and then there's different people for different rounds. But at the core of somebody getting a Grammy means that, I know we think that it's white people picking it or people that's just culturally oblivious. Yeah, they do set they with a group of other people set the categories and which songs are eligible. But the voting of who wins or who gets nominated is done by the culture, supposedly, right? And if it's done by the culture and all of these, especially older guys, claims they're anti-snitching, I would imagine Gunna doesn't get nominated if they're claiming they're anti-snitching. Again, it's not about the music because usually a lot of these people, they're trying to stand on some cultural principle or hip hop traditional shit. Even if they're voting for music, like like it's like niggas like Ebro. It's like they care about. They're not judging the actual music anymore. They care about how niggas is doing shit. They're like, oh, that they disagree with the morals part of it than other shit. You know what I mean? So, but who knows? He might get nominated. Shit, if you ask me, does Gunna deserve to be nominated? I seen somebody say something recently, and they basically said, yo, hot take, but like Gunna had the motherfucking hottest, had the hottest album this summer. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Oh, I think it was Trinidad James. Trinidad James says, yo, please stop saying the summer was boring. That's a lie you want to make true. Gunna saved it for male hip hop. God don't make mistakes. I think Gunna had probably the best summer. That's true. Definitely had the song of the summer. Saying the summer was boring, I still think that's a thing because people are usually seeing the top artists compete for either song of the summer or run in the summer, right? Like it's the reason why DJ Mustard was like, yo, he's ran 10 summers. Like there's something about summertime and having a hit during that time that usually make those songs kind of like almost immortalized. It's like, Chris Brown had a few of them joints that like you would hear at every cookout, hear at every day party. Yeah. The summer was kind of boring because it was only females. Like most of the main rappers, they weren't putting out a lot of music. It was just the females talking their shit. And yeah, the females did good. I think for female rap, it was very exciting. Actually, for the last year or two, for female rap, it's been really exciting. I'm not going to say this was indicative of anything to do with hip hop. What I'll say is that, honestly and truthfully, I just believe that the lit rappers didn't drop. You know what I mean? I can't judge them if they didn't drop, right? Like, if it was a summer that, say, Future was dropping, say Young Thug was free and he was dropping, say Drake was dropping an album or a summer album, or, you got Drake, you got, shit. I mean, we did get Travis in them, but I don't know, like, nothing seemed to culturally, like, I don't know. I guess it was a little bit weird, but I'm blaming it on the timing didn't line up with the heavy hitters dropping. Whenever the heavy hitters drop, shit changes. Somebody said Bar to 16. The Bar to 16 is on the way. Apparently it's been turned in. It has been turned in. We will see. All right, cool. Cool. We did enough Gunna talk. Let me see what else I got to address on this bitch. Oh, we should get to the Brittany Renner. Should we do the Brittany Renner shit? Let's do the Brittany Renner shit. So, Brittany Renner is someone who I consider a friend. I do have to preface anything I'm going to say with saying that because even though she's a friend, I do have to be, honest as well. So anyway, apparently she did a live podcast, and I think the podcast is called The Danza Project. Okay, never heard of these guys, but look like, they got a little operation going on. They're doing their thing. And they got Brittany Renner on the podcast with Charleston White. Now, I haven't seen the whole thing. We've all seen like the viral moments of her dancing on Charleston White. But I'm going to try to see if I could watch and try to get some context to how things went left, right? Let me me see if I can find it. Okay. And usually I could imagine. Let me see. Is it here? Where's all that dancing shit? All right, here we go.
PJ just got an amazing contract. How does that make you feel as a woman knowing that's your baby father? What is your first view on that?
Honestly, I want my child's father to win.
Exactly.
It's just what it is. And regardless of what people say, I believe.
By the way, you could tell she's definitely under the influence of alcohol. And I'm gonna preface everything I'm gonna also say. I'm gonna exercise some grace. I'm gonna be very honest, but I'm gonna exercise some grace because I do know when people are under the influence of alcohol, shit go a little left. If anyone should know, that's me.
He deserves whatever he feels he's worthy of. So, whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. You know, I had a second degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I'm going to just
Hello?
say no. I'm going to say no for all of us.
Is everybody fucking
I'm just
listening?
gonna say no.
Hello?
Yeah,
A second degree tear? You know what that looks like?
I mean, that boy was that big when you had him.
He was, I think it was 8.1.5.
That means she had a big baby.
Almost 9 pounds, right?
Another NBA player.
Does that matter to you? Does that matter to you? Who had such a motherfucking opinion about me?
Wait,
Does
time
that
out.
matter?
It's grew.
Hold
My
on.
opinion changed, but
Hold
yeah,
on. Answer the motherfucking question.
no. No, it didn't initially. No, hell no.
Okay, I had a second degree tear. That means they sewed me up.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You know what that means? That means I love that motherfucker. My pussy was fucking split open for him.
Right.
You understand that? He was 9 pounds.
Big boy.
Okay?
Gratefully, I had a 5-pound baby.
Good for you.
Yes,
My
yes.
baby was almost 9 pounds.
Big boy.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. All right?
No, I wanted to say that because I think it is important. A lot of people do
What's important?
that. You do wish well for them.
Most.
Here's the thing. Let me just tell you, you and every one of the motherfuckers that are commenting, she's doing too much. She. At the end of the day, this pussy had a second degree tear. Do you know what that means?
You just taught us.
Ripped.
What is it?
Ripped.
Thank you, Charleston.
Ripped open.
Ripped.
Wait a minute. Yeah, boy had a head like his daddy. Ma'am. Yeah. Boy had a head like his daddy.
All right.
Hold on.
So, a ripped fucking vagina. Hold on.
Say it again. Say it again. For the people in the back.
Let me tell you something. 50 pounds. Do you hear what I'm saying?
That boy born 50 pounds?
No, you gained.
I gained 50 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Charleston, 50 pounds. That's just somebody, I'm just, whatever. It's about money. Let me tell you something. I can't be bought.
Hello.
That's what all these people in the chat can't seem to understand. They think I can be bought. They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I believe in true love.
Hello. I heard her say that. But you
I
know, we
said it
be
100
thinking-
fucking times.
Hey, listen.
Hello.
Hey, listen, now listen.
Listen to what I'm fucking saying. Shut the fuck up when a real bitch is talking.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Get Shut the room. Fuck up.
Take the room.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, ma'am. Here we go.
Because I'm a real fucking bitch. You hear what I'm saying?
Talk.
And I care. And I'm a hopeful romantic. But I can't control. At the end of the day, I try to force something that wasn't mine. That wasn't my person. And that's okay. He's sitting over there, motherfucker.
That's a lot of hurt, bro. Yeah, I love Brittany. Brittany's been to my house. I respect her. I think she's an amazing person. I love how real, raw, and authentic she is. I do think she's still hurt. And I think let me also speak just widely too. I think her mentioning the fact that she has like she like whatever the second degree tear or whatever is kind of letting you know, bro, she kind of put a lot on the line. And the only ironic part is that I think she painted herself, or she took this gold digger image. But wait, let me think about what I'm saying. I'm being a little bit careful. Relax. Unfortunately, I think Britney's one of the people who the grass is green on the other side, but it ain't green on the other side. I ain't say that nigga PJ Washington wasn't a cheater. He wasn't probably, hopefully not like crazy abusive or abusive really at all, but I ain't saying he wasn't all that. But I think in the back of Britney's mind, she looks at PJ Washington and says, I pushed this kid out of my fucking pussy. I got ripped open for this. I made these sacrifices. And there's another bitch enjoying that shit. I don't care how. This is not calling her a gold digger. I don't care how she tries to make it. Oh, that's not my person. No, but you made the sacrifices and another bitch is eating the cake. And I do think she thinks she's thinking about it now, because after she's left him, women always say, oh, I'm going to find the guy who's going to treat me right. Only to find out that all of the guys, especially that you want, are treating you the same. Probably even worse. Because Britney now, on the sexual marketplace, or even in the dating marketplace, dudes are less likely to wife you up. They don't want to be in a relationship with you. They definitely want to fuck. So everything you were thinking that was so bad about the dude that you left, and you're saying the grass is greener, I'm going to find a guy who's definitely not going to cheat and definitely going to do this. You went out there and everybody's treating you marginally worse. They're giving you nothing or way less than he was giving you. He gave you the castle. And it's not that you could be bought, but this is an important lesson in life that we all have to learn. Life ain't perfect. And God never made men or women to have a perfect life, but we have to choose the best deal. It's deal or no deal. Because if she dates a rapper now, he's still going to cheat on her. He ain't going to take her serious because she got a kid and she got to run back and forth to go bring the kid to her father. She's now a baby mom. Again, a lot of women start dating on this idealistic approach only for life to humble them and let them know the grass ain't greener. There ain't no Prince Charming. There ain't no guy who's gonna, oh, okay, let me do exact the opposite. And usually if they do find it, it's for a while, then they realize it was a fraud. So when the questions get asked, I do believe it's triggering. And I don't know if she's never said it to me, and we have real conversations, even off camera. I personally do believe, again, not that she's jealous, not that she's like, oh, shit, I'm fucked up or I need money. I don't think none of that. But when she mentions her sacrifices, that she sacrificed for that man and in that relationship, she says, I sacrificed it because I also wanted everything else too. It's like when you sacrifice not eating that piece of cake, which I never do, you're knowing the reward is you're gonna, like, your abs gonna start to show at a certain point. You sacrifice your time by going to the gym. You know you sacrifice something knowing there's gonna be some reward. She made the sacrifice, and there is no reward. Now, granted, let me also say that the child is a reward for her, right? Like, she has a beautiful child, great, but it is triggering when people or anyone brings up, yo, you know your baby father giving everything that you wanted to another girl, right? It's fucking triggering. Because you did all the work. Somebody said the reward is child support. Well, here's the reality. I think she said it before in a public interview. She's only getting paid like $3,000 or $4,000. Like this whole thing where she was supposedly getting like millions, she's not getting that. She's getting paid like $3,000 or $4,000 a month. That's it. That is it. So I do think there's a lot of conflict there where she's remembering the times where what is happiness for her? And this is why when I had her on the show, even Fresh and Fit, even I talked to her directly on the podcast about myself, I said, if you are so big on this whole thing about infidelity and some of the things that come with the life of having a guy who is a rich and famous, younger celebrity basketball player, why don't you go for someone not in that profession? Why do you still want to give or want to deal with celebrities? Because the majority of celebrities are going to be that. There is no grass is green. Like, I think most of these females think they're going to find a Russell Wilson. You're not Ciara. It's not happening. I think God looked at Ciara and said, God damn it, you dealt with the worst of the worst. Future. Here's your blessing. The rest of you chicks, y'all are doomed. So in reality, and you know, like again, you know, she's my friend. You know, so I gotta use kitty gloves. And also all these conversations, me and her, we're definitely gonna have further on camera and shit, even probably privately too. PJ Washington. Let me tell you this. I don't think she's salty. By the way, I don't think she's fucked up or nothing like that. She's good. Like, she's good. Trust me. Like, Shorty's good. But let me tell you this. I don't care what no woman says. You go on that nigga page and he with his new chick like this. Like this. He with his new chick like this. He with his new baby like this. Now, and also, and I hate to bring up age, but it matters. Britney's now 30. There was a time, a 22-year-old woman is the most arrogant woman in the world because to her, beauty is just, it's forever. At 30, they realize when a nigga walk in the room, they're the last woman that get looked at. I think there's a lot of regret. I believe there's a lot of regret. Now, not regret of having a child, because I'm pretty sure she has no regrets about her kid in terms of Britney and PJ having a kid. But I do think she regrets the time she spent. She wrote a book about her time with Uzi, about her time with that nigga who kept kneeling with the afro. She wrote a book about her spending her youthful 20-ish years involved in that lifestyle, always thinking that she was going to cash out later for the guy who was going to take her serious, white picket fence, and was going to have it all. That is not her reality. And I don't know if she would like play the game differently, if she had the chance to. I don't want to put words in her mouth. But when you see her on a podcast and listen, a drunken soul speaks sober thoughts. I see it's triggering when people ask her about his success. And it's not because she's jealous. It's because it's very complicated and she probably also feels some regret.
Fucking shut the fuck up!
Oh shit!
Shut up!